Bhupesh Baghel eyes second term. Mizoram gears up for a fierce triangular fight. Crucial battle between MNF, ZPM and Congress party. Congress wants to regain the lost bastion. Stakes high for the BJP in the northeast. Power star ties up with the Bharatiya Janata Party in Telengana. Pawan Kalyan, Prime Minister Modi on the same stage. BJP banks on Kalyan's youth and OBC appeal. Will Pawan Kalyan help power BJP to the victory? In international news, war is raging for 1 month and counting. Israel says Gaza city split into two. Gaza reduced in parts to a ghost town. Pakistan asks Afghans to leave the country, evicting, as they call, illegal immigrants. But this crackdown has triggered a backlash from once friendly ally Taliban.
Co-presented by
आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय जॉय ई-बाइक
Co-powered by
पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी वडोदरा गुजरात
Two states are set to vote today, one in central India, Chhattisgarh, another northeastern state of Manipur. The polling has started and the first phase of election polling in Chhattisgarh, we have been told, has been confirmed, has started. It's a three-layer security. Because remember, for parts of Chhattisgarh, for example, Bastar, are areas which are Maoist hit. There have been issues of law and order earlier. Bhupesh Baghel, even though he has been surrounded in the whole Mahadev application betting controversy in the past 2-3 days, but he will be eyeing a second term. Meanwhile, that is Chhattisgarh. Let's go to Mizoram. Mizoram also gears up for a fierce triangular fight. Congress will want to make regain its territory. Again, it's Mizoram, the fight basically between three parties. Can Congress manage one way or another to ensure to retain the government? Big moment now for the northeastern state. Remember that BJP will also want to have stakes in the northeast. BJP will want to, specifically after Mizoram, after other states, it will want another state, specifically after Manipur, after ensuring it has been an alliance in other states too. It will be Mizoram's turn where BJP will want to focus on. Let's go across then on the ground. Chhattisgarh is where I'm starting this morning bulletin first today. And Aishwarya Paliwal is on the ground. Chhattisgarh, remember, very crucial, very significant. What does the polling look like, Aishwarya? All right, so these are the visuals that you're looking at, the preparation that is on, the checks and balances being done, specifically with regard to the EVM machines. Bhupesh Baghel, remember, will want to have a second term. Congress is heavily eyeing Chhattisgarh. Apart from another election-bound state, the desert state of Rajasthan, these two states will be crucial for the Congress party to continue to be in the government. Aishwarya, so go ahead. Chhattisgarh is a very important state where the polling is do you see queues already or it's a slow start?
Frame do yaar. It is a slow start because, Pooja, let me tell you, in Chhattisgarh, there are two timings. One is the 7 a.m. timing and the place where I am, the region where I am, the polling begins at about 8 a.m. But the preparations, let me tell you, you'll be able to see the officers sitting inside. So the preparations are on. Officers have started coming up. They have started sitting here. All the charts and everything has been laid out very clearly. This is very, very crucial for the Congress party this time, Pooja, because out of the 20 seats that are going for polls today, 17 were won by the Congress party way back in 2018. So this is a direct competition between the BJP and the Congress party. And for the Congress, winning these seats is extremely crucial. Or if you remember, in fact, Chhattisgarh is the place from where Prime Minister Narendra Modi made that claim. And he also said that the government has now decided that they will give out free ration for the next 5 years. So a very tough battle to be fought here in the state and very crucial, at least the first phase, extremely, extremely crucial for the Congress party. Pooja.
All right, so that's the first visuals on your screen right now. Remember, people, it's just started, so people are going to come in some time. Aishwarya, as I stay on with you, for Bhupesh Baghel, last few days have been very difficult, specifically with regard to the Mahadev betting application controversy, a scam that no Neta wants right when the elections are heading close, but 500 crore rupees kickback. All this, while has been rubbished immediately by the Congress and Bhupesh Baghel. But do you think these controversies may have an impact? Do you think that could be in the background? Or right now, this is today about perhaps the long-term decision that the voter, based on the performance, would have taken?
Well, definitely.
All right, so let me give you some background about the state of Chhattisgarh. It's an election state. It's very crucial for the BJP, for the Congress party. Chhattisgarh is now gearing up for assembly elections. All eyes are on these key battles that could change the game. The first phase of polling for 20 seats, including 12 from Bastar division, will take place today. Remaining 70 will go to polls on 17th November. 60,000 security personnel have been deployed for the smooth conduct of these elections. Meanwhile, remember, this is also a Maoist hit area, and that's why there are members of an elite anti-Naxal unit, Cobra, and women commandos who will also be deployed in different locations, for example, specifically Bastar. Drones and helicopters have also been deployed to keep a vigil on these Naxal activities. Remember, results for the elections will be announced on 3rd of December for all the assembly election states, but it is going to be an important state for the Congress and for the BJP.
ये मुख्यमंत्री हैं, सट्टा जुआ अपराध यदि हो रहा है तो 1-1.5 साल से हो रहा है, कार्रवाई करते, अरेस्ट करते, गिरफ्तारी करते, कोई कार्रवाई किया नहीं, एफआईआर तक तो दर्ज नहीं किया छत्तीसगढ़ में। ईडी को क्यों आना पड़ा? पीएमएलए में, प्रिवेंशन ऑफ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्ट में जब करोड़ों रुपये, हजारों करोड़ का ट्रांजैक्शन दिख रहा है तो ईडी को भी आना पड़ा, ईटी को भी आना पड़ा।
वीडियो जो है बीजेपी ने जारी किया है, है ना? प्रेस नोट है, ईडी ने जारी किया। तो मतलब कितना बढ़िया संबंध है, जैसे पहले कार्रवाई करते थे ईडी और प्रेस विज्ञप्ति जारी करता था रमन सिंह। तो ये तो ईडी और भाजपा की मिली भगत है, वो तो स्पष्ट हो गया है।
ये कांग्रेस की पहचान है, जहां कांग्रेस होगी वही भ्रष्टाचार होगा। ये एक ही सिक्के के दो पहलू हैं। ये भूपेश बघेल की ओएसडी, ऑफिसर ऑन स्पेशल ड्यूटी, क्या घर से पैसे मिले थे कि नहीं मिले थे? जेल में है कि नहीं है? 1.5 साल से जेल में है भूपेश बघेल की ओएसडी। आप बताइए 5 साल में क्या क्या हुआ? ये घोटाले पे घोटाला हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? और तो और छोड़िए, गोठान घोटाला हुआ, सब तरीके का घोटाला हुआ। कभी आपने सुना था कि गोबर का भी घोटाला हुआ? भूपेश बघेल ने गोबर का भी घोटाला कर दिया, गोबर का भी।
All right, so that's the state of Chhattisgarh, where remember the netas of the BJP also have they have campaigned for the party, but it is going to be more important that the elections pass off smoothly in these 2 phases for the state of Chhattisgarh, given the law and order situations earlier that have also been reported in the state. Congress will want to eye the second term. Just like in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh is where they're clearly betting all their probabilities on. They will want to retain among the few states that they have right now. Chhattisgarh is where their focus will be. But if the BJP manages to topple the Congress party in the Chhattisgarh with these elections, that's also going to be a big victory ahead of 2024. So going to Aishwarya now. Aishwarya, like I was asking you earlier as well, that there were some controversies right here about 2 days ago about the Mahadev application, for example. Do you think the Congress has been able to put out enough refusals on it? Is it something that could bother the voter right at this point? But that definitely must have played heavy in the political circles ahead of elections.
Well, definitely, Pooja, and you can understand when none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself from a dais in Durg in Chhattisgarh spoke about the fact that the Congress party, the Gandhis, in fact, he said that all the strings and this corruption road is now leading to the Congress party. He said that all the money is going into the Congress party's coffers. So definitely it's something that's playing on to the minds of the voters. The place where I'm standing, the booth where I'm standing, the voting will begin at 8 a.m. However, the initial planning has already started. So people have started coming in. They are waiting for, all the booths to open by about 8 a.m. This at the moment is the scene here in Jagdalpur, and this has been the bastion, this is Bastar. This has been the bastion of the Congress party, Pooja. And out of the 20 seats that are going for polls today, 17 were won by the Congress party in 2018. So for the Congress, this definitely is a do or die, because according to them, this is their place. And all the other allegations that have been put out by the Prime Minister, we also saw how Home Minister Amit Shah had also taken a pot shot at the Chief Minister, saying he's one of the most corrupt Chief Ministers that the country has seen. So all those things will definitely be playing out, and in about 45 minutes from now, in the school where I'm standing, polling will begin, and Pooja, the initial preparations are full on.
You're in Jagdalpur, Aishwarya. Do tell us about the areas outside. Is it a bustling town, villages? Is there a heavy deployment around you? Because Chhattisgarh, even though not the main cities like Raipur, for example, but there have been other Maoist Naxal violence infested areas too. So Chhattisgarh will be on the edge compared to other states that are going to election this season.
Pooja, 60,000 security personnel has been deployed across the state. So you can very well imagine, how authorities are on the toes. They are making sure that everything goes as per plan. So all those things need to be taken care of. And we speak about, the people coming out and voting. In the year 2018, we did see that the voting percentage was close to 68%. So this is a state where people do step out and they do vote in large numbers. Security, obviously, Pooja, is on the minds of both, the people who are sitting inside. And also, from what we understand, there's heavy police deployment, especially in this area, in the Bastar area. Across the state, if, we speak about it, then there are close to 60,000 security personnel who have been deployed, making sure that everything is top-notch, and also making sure that, nothing untoward takes place. At the moment, we'll show you some of the visuals, not going inside the booth, but just showing you the kind of preparations, Pooja, that are now taking place. The documentation is being checked, and in about 45 minutes from now, this is where, the polling will begin. Pooja.
All right, so Aishwarya Paliwal giving us the first visuals coming in from Chhattisgarh, a very crucial state for the BJP, for the Congress party. Will the Congress get a rerun, or will the BJP make inroads? Thank you so much. It's start of the day, Aishwarya, and I'll continue to come to you in the next few hours as well. From Chhattisgarh, let me now take you from central India to the northeastern state of Mizoram. Mizoram is also set to witness the race for power between three parties, basically. One, of course, importantly here in Mizoram, are the regional parties. Mizo National Front, Zoram People's Movement, and then there is the Congress party that wants to ensure, even with one of these parties, it will continue to be in the government. Out of Mizoram's 1,276 voting centers, 149 are remote polling stations. The ruling Mizo National Front, the main opposition party, Zoram People's Movement, and Congress each have fielded candidates for all the 40 seats. So the seats may be fewer than other states, but the state is as crucial for all of these parties, specifically for the Congress party. BJP and Aam Aadmi Party have also fielded 23 and 4 candidates. AAP has also entered into the fray here, in addition to 27 independents already. But security has been tightened. Mizoram borders, remember, have been sealed for now. With regard to law and order situation.
The border is very porous, and we have a visa-free regime. So 16 kilometers on both sides, people can freely enter the other country without any visa requirements. So that can be misused by antisocial elements. So considering the long border that we have and the visa-free regime that we have, we have to ensure that there is no unauthorized movement of contraband goods.
Mizoram is facing a major movement of drugs, and the drugs are transiting through Mizoram, which is then taken to various parts of the country and even beyond. Recently, we have made various arrests. We have seized more than 45 worth crores of crystal meth. We are aware of the mountainous terrain and the difficulties in guarding the entire border areas. Nonetheless, we are up to it. We have formed a separate team of narcotics headed by an SP, which has been able to lay hands on these important seizures.
Silent, please. Keep silence.
Chief Minister incumbent of Mizoram, Zoramthanga of the Mizo National Front speaking. Listen.
Sarkar po kay manin siyam tengay kanin beisay.
Ole kapuhi ki campaign topia kitsoda chuampuye kitsoya kan namuhum himna apoy mod lampang thui soy heta hian MNF lo chon theluin MNF sarkar lo chon zong na tha hun sang sang om ten him ni soy hemi chungcha hian enge nangmani tin theina chan tura poy mod tak ni siang hei
sia
That is Mizoram Chief Minister speaking, and we'll quickly get a translation also for that on for you. And meanwhile, on the ground is my colleague Suryagini joining us. Suryagini, you know, I find it very interesting, and that's a good example to set that the incumbent Chief Minister himself, Zoramthanga, who's there, right there on the ground, one of the first to be coming in to cast his vote. And when a senior leader, whether of a party or of the state like this, as a Chief Minister comes, it is a reflection of encouraging more people to come in. But remember, it will be as much about the BJP that will want, like it has done in the past, any sort of alliances, specifically after elections, but it will be as crucial for the Congress party. So this is going to be very important, remember this time, that while the Mizo National Front won the assembly elections previously, but will it be able to make a return, and will it need an alliance this time as well? That remains to be seen. But for now, 40 seats for the northeastern state of Mizoram. And while, as I said, seats may not be as much as that of Chhattisgarh today, but the state holds a lot of significance for each party, the regional parties, and as much as for the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Congress. They may not be eyeing these election victory alone. They will need the support of these regional parties in Mizoram. So remember, while the Mizo National Front, whose party leader, Zoramthanga, who's the Chief Minister you're looking at, has been able to win this election for the past 5 years, with alliance, of course, but for now, it will be crucial whether the Congress party can also make inroads, just like they will want, again, in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. But it has been the BJP that has managed for now to be able to make inroads majorly into the northeastern state. These are the first visuals of the Mizoram Chief Minister who's cast his vote. So, if you're wondering who precisely will hold a lot of sway for Mizoram elections, let me take you through some of the details as well. On top, of course, is the Chief Minister himself. Zoramthanga from Aizawl East is the incumbent Chief Minister of the Mizo National Front. Has he been able to take enough decisions that the party by in itself will be able to return to the government, or will it be other regional parties? Now, Tonlua, who's from Toichang, is the incumbent Deputy Chief Minister. Two senior leaders of MNF continue to hold clout for the northeastern state of Mizoram, but eventually it is as much about two personalities as it is about the work done in the past 5 years. Vanlal Moka, who's the state chief of the Bharatiya Janata Party from Dampa, BJP, whether in alliance and most likely only in alliance. Remember, BJP may not be able to make complete inroads, but like it did in the past 5 years, it will want to ensure at least have some sway with one of the parties to be able to be in government. Lal Sorta, Aizawl West, State Chief of the Congress Party. Congress has held importance in Mizoram. It has been in the government previously too in alliance, and this time, whether it can have that permutation combination, of course, we'll see after the elections. But Lal Dauma, who's the ZPM president, ZPM, of course, is the main opposition party. Again, in Mizoram, unlike in Chhattisgarh, the regional parties will hold sway, just like, for example, the BRS in Telengana. So the BJP and the Congress party will more be on the supportive lines. So the election started, election season for Assembly, a semi-final for 2024. Mizoram, Chhattisgarh today. We continue to bring you updates on that after a very short break. But remember, at this time with the election season that's on, you do not want to miss any news, and therefore to ensure we bring you not only more news and updates, but a QR code to keep you updated throughout these days. So stay tuned to India Today Television.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Get ready for an immersive journey into the heart of news, politics and insights that matter. Join India Today now on WhatsApp with the #1 election team as we gear up for the upcoming assembly elections. Scan the QR code.
Join India Today now on WhatsApp. Follow these steps. Open WhatsApp on your phone. Check for a new updates tab. Select Find Channel and type India Today. After finding the channel, tap the Follow button.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. You're watching India Today. Powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Feeling burnt out? Do you feel as if your work hours are seeping into your personal hours? Well, you're not alone. Work-related stress is often something that people around the world experience. But is mental wellness at workplaces given the necessary space it deserves? A study conducted by GI Group India says that 57% of the corporate workers in major Indian cities feel that while workplaces may not cause mental health issues, they can certainly aggravate them. The study surveyed 1,088 employees and 368 employers from large-scale businesses based out of Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi NCR and Pune. The study suggests that today's corporate work culture is such that it is bound to aggravate your mental pressures. One of the prime reasons behind this is an erratic work schedule. About 77% of employers and 39% of employees attribute their mental health issues to erratic work hours, which hamper the regular sleep cycle. Another reason is personality conflicts, which experts say, coupled with office politics, can strain work relations and can adversely affect an employee's mental health. Other major contributing factors to mental health issues include the need for social validation and interpersonal conflicts. 66% of employers and 51% of employees feel that competitiveness and peer pressure within their organization compounds their mental stress. But there is a disconnect between employers and employees when it comes to mental health issues at the workplace. While 77% of employers downplay the role of leadership as a causative factor for mental health issues and blame erratic work hours, 79% of employees feel their leadership, specifically indifference from superiors, that tops the reason behind mental health issues. The study says reduced productivity, burnout, and loss of motivation or purpose are the direct fallout of mental health issues. And this is reflected within 70% of all employees, who feel there is a significant impact of mental issues on organizational performance. But what are organizations doing to create a support system for those affected by mental health issues? While 14% of organizations have policies to assist with mental health issues, 54% have no formal setup to deal with mental wellness concerns. When it comes to awareness on mental health, Delhi NCR fares at the bottom end with a 50% score.
Experts say that mental health has pervaded public discourse, but it still remains a challenge, especially in the workplace. The only way forward is to regularly sensitize those in the workforce to be receptive to mental health concern and also create a safe space for those who need assistance. With video journalist Manish Jha, this is Chetna Vasudevan for India Today.
All right, so it's the northeastern state of Mizoram that is very crucial, as much for the BJP and the Congress, but for the regional parties, ZPM and the MNF. And this time, therefore, it will be very important as this triangular contest continues. The polling has already started, and we'll continue to get you updates on what Mizoram is looking like right now. Remember, for now, the Chief Minister incumbent, Zontanga, already there on the ground. Very interesting. One of the first to actually be able to vote, thereby encouraging and inspiring others as well. But it is also, remember, while he's an experienced politician, he's been a chief minister 3 times at least previously, the ones against him also are as experienced, the previous chief ministers from the ZPM. Now, the Mizo National Front and Zoram People's Movement will be very crucial in this election. Out of Mizoram's 1,276 voting centres, 149 are remote polling stations. Apart from that, let's talk about the parties. Ruling Mizo Front and also the main opposition party, the Zoram People's Movement, will hold the most crucial sway. The Congress have also fielded the candidates and the BJP also in the seats, in 40 seats in total in Mizoram. While Congress has fielded on all 40, BJP has fielded on 23. Aam Aadmi Party also has jumped in on 4 seats. In addition to, there are already 27 independents in this. That means that the BJP will most likely and the Congress party may want an alliance if they do not win many seats but want to be in the government. Security has been tightened in the state. Mizoram's borders have been sealed as well ahead of elections to ensure smooth functioning of these polls.
The problem in Myanmar and then refugees and problem from Manipur and from Bangladesh. And here it will be a big plus factor for my party, the MNF, because these people, whether they are from Burma, from Manipur or from Bangladesh, they all have faith if the MNF form the government here in Aijo. And therefore, in order to comfort them, in order to give them shelter, in order to give them food and shelter. So it needs MNF government here. That would be one of the biggest plus points in my coming election. Well, I have a full confidence that we will be able to form the government with an absolute majority.
So just to give you a little background about the northeastern state of what does it really look like and how was it previously in the past 5 years when the elections had happened. Remember, this is one state, all the 5 election states where the regional parties are heavier. 27 seats of the Mizo National Front, only 1 went to the BJP. Mizoram is one of the states where BJP doesn't really have any sway in the ruling government, even though it has alliance in the NDA with the ruling party. 4 Congress, and there are others 8 as well. So this, remember, is going to be very important for Mizoram with 27. And if the BJP manages to get more seats, will it immediately jump to an alliance? And so will the Congress party. Congress earlier has been in the government in Mizoram and therefore has that level of experience. But it is going to be the ZPM and the MNF that will hold the most sway. But eventually it will be about the alliances, the permutation combinations and the sort of turnout that people of Mizoram will come out to vote. It's a Christian majority, many constituencies. The politics very different from, for example, Chhattisgarh, that also goes to polls today. All right, so you're looking at the visuals coming in from different polling centers in Mizoram. Look closely. And while there is, you can see heavy security and a slow start comparatively. But Zomthanga, who's the chief minister, incumbent himself, one of the first to be coming in. And while expressing confidence, remember, as a chief minister, he's also maintained that it will not be a hung assembly, because that is what his opponents were saying, that it will be a hung assembly, that they will depend on other parties. For now, complete confidence for the Mizo National Front. And he said, we have not yet approached the BJP also. Neither have they. In centre, we are with the NDA, but we are not with the BJP. Remember, for now, just to give you a background, Mizo National Front and Bharatiya Janata Party are in NDA. But in Mizoram, they are not together, at least till the elections get over. Right, big news coming in. Telengana Congress is fielding its state unit chief, Revanth Reddy, against Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao from Kamareddy Assembly constituency. That's a big news coming in. Revanth Reddy is one of the big faces for the Congress party. They have decided to field Revanth Reddy against incumbent Chief Minister KCR, who's of course the biggest face of the BRS. This is the second seat on which Reddy, who's the sitting member of parliament from Malkangiri parliamentary constituency, will be contesting now. So that's a big moment. The Congress knows that it has important stake in the Telangana elections and to field one of its senior most faces. And that means going to be the biggest fight for the state of Telangana. KCR, BRS party will want to, of course, retain the position in the government in Telangana. Congress, desperate to make inroads, and after Karnataka's victory, will want Telangana too. But of course, watching this very closely will be the Bharatiya Janata Party. That is as desperate to have inroads into the southern states. Listen in to what Revanth Reddy said.
कांग्रेस पार्टी जीतने वाले तेलंगाना में कांग्रेस पार्टी जीतने वाले, सरकार बनाने वाले, गरीब लोगों को मदद करने के लिए लोग आप देखे नॉमिनेशन में कितने लोग हैं। ऐसा कालेश्वरम कोलैप्स हो गए, वैसे ही केसीआर की सरकार और केसीआर के परिवार कोलैप्स होने वाले हैं। मोदी जी जितना भी मदद करके उनको बचाने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वो नाकामयाब हो जाए।
So for Telangana, then this is a big moment. Power star and Janasena chief Pawan Kalyan, meanwhile, is the star power with the BJP. Prime Minister Modi shared the stage with Pawan Kalyan, who's a very well-known face in the film circles. He's also now a Neta. And also apart from that, it will be about the backward caste Atma Gaurav meeting in Hyderabad. The superstar tied up with the BJP for the Telangana elections, even though, remember, his party is already there in Andhra Pradesh. But in Telangana, it's more of a star power push. But could he power BJP into a southern state election victory? Take a look at this report.
It is now official that the Jan Sena is contesting the Telangana election in alliance with the BJP. But the big question is, will the power start help BJP come to power? Jan Sena is a political party with interests in Andhra Pradesh and nil presence in Telangana. Power star Pawan Kalyan's presence in the Telangana political landscape is not just a Telangana story. It is intricately entwined with the extremely hostile politics of the neighbouring state. A part of BJP's strategy is to shore up its fortunes in constituencies which have a significant population of people hailing from Andhra Pradesh. These are the constituencies mainly in and around Hyderabad and in Nalgonda and Khammam districts. Pawan is scheduled to share the stage with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 7th November in Hyderabad. Not only will this help the BJP to tap into his fan base, but will also make it tricky for Kalyan to rupture his relationship with the BJP 5 months from now, should the BJP continue to frown on his political friendship with the TDP. But what does Pawan Kalyan bring to the table? Of course, his stature as an extremely popular actor and his youth connect. 2. The Munuru Kapu is a significant segment among the OBC vote in Telangana, so his presence on the NDA campaign stage can be used by the BJP to tap into this community vote. More so when the BJP has announced that if it comes to power in Telangana, the state will see a backward class chief minister. 3. BJP Telangana chief Kishan Reddy revealed that the Jan Sena had lent a helping hand to his party in the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation elections in December 2020, in which the Saffron Party had done exceedingly well and would therefore like a repeat performance. 4. And the most significant aspect is that even though the BJP has no truck with the TDP, it wants Jan Sena to leverage its relationship with Chandrababu Naidu in order to ensure that the TDP vote in Telangana gets transferred to the NDA and not to the Congress. But will the Jan Sena set the Godavari on fire? Electorally speaking, we will know on 3rd of December. With T.S. Sudhir, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, we have a breaking news coming in from election-bound Chhattisgarh. And remember, because there is a tightened security for a reason, amid the Naxal-infested areas, a CRPF Cobra Battalion soldier has received injuries. There's been an IED blast in the Tondamarka area in Sukma. Sukma is also one of the locations where there has been a law and order situation with regard to Maoist areas. The soldier was deployed on election duty. We are being told that the Superintendent of Police in Sukma, Kiran Chavan, has given this information. So there has been, like I was mentioning earlier, a security scare with an IED blast by the Naxalites that is being reported from the Tondamarka area. CRPF Cobra Battalion soldier has received serious injuries. Summi Rajapal, who's tracking the latest on these elections, is joining me from Rajnandgaon. Summi, while of course the focus is on elections, one cannot ignore the ground reality of parts of Chhattisgarh too when it comes to Naxal-infested areas, and Sukma is one of those areas. What is the information you have?
Yes, absolutely. As anticipated, Sukhma, Dantewada, Bijapur and Narayanpur, these 4 districts are the most worst affected Naxal areas in Chhattisgarh. And in fact, the Naxals have been concentrated there, and which is why the first incident of an IED blast is coming from Sukhma. In fact, in the Tonda Marka area where the IED blast took place, the official, as you correctly pointed out, was deployed in the election duty. And in fact, he has been rushed to the near district hospital. And Kiran Chavan has given this information. He has verified this information. And this is the first IED blast that's happening. In fact, yesterday evening also, a similar IED blast also took place. And these IEDs have been detected in the past 15 days. So in the last fortnight, it has been a constant challenge for the CRPF personnel to traverse through the jungles. And in fact, more than 60,000 CRPF personnel have been deployed across Chhattisgarh, depending on the sensitivity of the polling station. And it's unfortunate that we're receiving this news that the IED blast has, in fact, IED blast has in fact given injuries through the CRPF Jawan from the Cobra Battalion. He's been rushed to the hospital, and in fact, the officials will divulge more information. But for now, I would like to show you how this entire polling booth in Rajnandgaon is awake already. And here as well, since it is a Naxal sensitive area, the CRPF personnel have been placed here since early in the morning, and they're ensuring the discipline, much needed discipline, and the security that's needed to conduct these polls. And in fact, apart from Rajnandgaon, there are these areas of Jagdalpur where the polling will happen between 8 to 5 p.m. And in fact, in the extra sensitive areas of Bastar, the polling has already begun. In fact, 10 are such seats where the polling have already began between 7 to 3 p.m. And it is done for a reason, so that people can go out to safely vote. And in fact, each voter will be accompanied by the CRPF Jawan today in the extra sensitive areas of Bijapur, Sukhma and Dantewada. This is that belt where most of the IED blasts have slain the CRPF personnel in the past, and it has been extra sensitive. And in fact, there are many villages where the Naxals have made sure that they reach out to the villagers to tell them that they have to boycott voting. So there's going to be resistance, there's going to be reaction, and this is certainly a part of it.
Also tell us, because you're in Rajnandgaon, that's going to be very crucial for Raman Singh, possibly to seal his fate as well, as much as, of course, this election is important for Bhupesh Baghel. What does the turnout look like? Because while there is a security scare, are people still coming out, willing to vote, to show their presence, as Prime Minister has also appealed for the voters to come out and vote in large numbers?
Yes, absolutely. Rajnandgaon is Dr. Raman Singh's bastion. He has been representing this particular constituency since 2004. And we have a very interesting voter here. The voting will begin at 8 a.m. But this voter has turned up half an hour before. And in fact, he has a very uncanny resemblance with the millennial star that we have in the country, Amitabh Bachchan. And in fact, we'll ask him to say something for voter awareness to all the voters who do not usually come out to vote. Sir, पहले तो आपका नाम क्या है? आप अपना नाम बताएं।
नमस्कार, मैं हूं आमोद श्रीवास्तव।
आमोद श्रीवास्तव जी, आप पहले ही वोटिंग अभी अब 8 बजे शुरू होना है, आप पहले से यहाँ पर एकदम पंक्चुअल होके यहाँ पर आ गए हैं। क्या मैसेज देना चाहते हैं उन वोटर्स को? एंड स्पेशली ना अमिताभ बच्चन का थोड़ा स्टाइल में बोल दीजिए, आप क्या मैसेज देंगे उन वोटर्स को जो यूजुअली जिनमें वोटर अवेयरनेस नहीं होती है?
चुनाव जो है एक संवैधानिक प्रक्रिया है और हम सभी मतदाताओं को इसमें जुड़ने का एक अनिवार्य अंग है हम लोग, और इसी के चलते मैं सबसे पहले अपना मतदान करने के लिए यहाँ उपस्थित हुआ हूँ। और सभी मतदाताओं से मैं निवेदन करता हूँ कि अपने मत का सदुपयोग अवश्य करें, निर्भीक होकर, निष्पक्ष होकर क्षेत्र के विकास और उसके लिए ही सही चुनाव करें और अपने मतदान का उपयोग अवश्य करें। मैंने तो मतदान का उपयोग किया, क्या आपने भी किया?
Bilkul, we'll see a lot of colors. In fact, in this particular polling station, there is all the decoration that has also been done. There's a lot of colors, but also the CRPF personnel are very alert, very vigilant at the moment. And there's this rangoli that also been put up, which says, vote for better India, because it is the biggest democracy, festival of democracy, where people should come out for better India, for the change that they want to see. Here, we are witnessing how the voters are also being guided by the CRPF personnel. They're making sure that nothing untoward happens, and all the voters probably, including men and women, will be assisted well. And in fact, the voters have already the voters have already begun to come out, and they are coming out in a few numbers as of now, because the voting will begin at 8 a.m. But we'll show you a lot of colors. And this is the Digvijay College that we're talking about. It has been a fort that was that belonged to Digvijay Das. It was given for education. And interesting polling station, and interesting people coming out to vote as well.
Well, clearly you are at a very important location about Rajnandgaon. A lot of history there, a lot of political future too for Raman Singh. On the other hand, Bhupesh Baghel as well, whether he'll be able to return as Chief Minister. But amid all of this, Chhattisgarh is where security scare remains. An IED blast has been reported. A soldier has received injuries too. We'll continue to get you details. And smooth election for Chhattisgarh will remain a priority. Let me now bring you some international news. It's been a month since Israel witnessed one of the worst terror attacks since Holocaust, when Hamas terrorists literally invaded into the territory and killed not just members of the Jewish community, but other ethnicities and nationalities too, killing over 1,400 innocent people and taking many children and young women hostage. But at a time like that, when the retaliation is on by Israel and also wanting to get their hostages back, there is on the Gaza Strip a lot of also innocent civilians losing their life, as much as Hamas commanders getting exterminated. Here are details.
1 month since Israel was caught by surprise. 1 month since over 1,400 Israelis were murdered. 1 month since Hamas terrorists brought the Jewish state to its knees. What has followed has been a month of an awakened beast. A grieving but galvanized Israel has been on an uninterrupted campaign of retribution, pounding Hamas strongholds in the Gaza Strip mercilessly. The endgame, total obliteration of Hamas, remains elusive. But Israel says it has managed to kill at least 3,000 Hamas terrorists.
We are targeting their infrastructure that is unfortunately embedded in civilian structures as well, underneath them, and they're hiding under population, cynically using them as human shields. So it's not an easy mission, as you can imagine. It's not an easy mission. This is why we have ground forces in Gaza right now.
Israel's ground offensive into the Gaza has thus far killed at least 37 IDF soldiers. And with the Israeli tank forces now at the doorstep of the sprawling Hamas stronghold of Gaza City, the most difficult part of this battle now lies ahead.
Gaza is a massive ground operation of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, and they are taking a bite after a bite from what was under Hamas control, and slowly, they are going to take over the Gaza Strip. I don't know yet what will happen after that, but I'm sure that Gaza City will fall very soon to the hands of the IDF.
Most believe that Israel would be able to wrap up its Hamas hunt in a month. But with Gaza split in the middle and the Hamas still making use of its vast tunnel network to keep the Israelis at bay, a long and hard campaign of urban warfare looms large. And while Israel presses on in the Gaza Strip, the architects of the Hamas terror attack continue to evade capture, sitting in foreign havens. For a month now, the battle has remained confined to Israel. But with Israel's fronts, with Lebanon and Syria hotting up progressively, could the coming months see this war explode beyond Israel's borders? Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so stay tuned as we continue to get you details, not just about Israel-Hamas conflict, but more importantly, with the election season that kickstarts today. As I wrap up this bulletin, I also want to tell you about how you can stay updated with the election season. There is a QR code with India Today now coming in on WhatsApp with the #1 election team. Scan this QR code and you can continue to be updated with all the news on your mobile phones. Stay tuned. Thank you.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
We won't have any of it. That is the word from the government of India on allegations of Meta and Instagram tweaking content to make their platforms addictive. India has said that free pass and immunity to social media platforms are over and strict accountability will be enforced.
Social media app can be used maturely or mindfully only after understanding these consequences. That means that there has to be a capping of age. Young children are more impressionable, and when they are looking at content repeatedly, it forms their opinions, it forms their ideologies, it forms their personality, and they get less and less choice in forming an ideology, because that is the only ideology that they are being exposed to.
This comes in the backdrop of a lawsuit against Meta, which also operates Facebook, by more than 40 US states, saying that Facebook, Instagram features are addictive and target kids. The complaint says Meta has repeatedly misled the public about the substantial dangers of its platforms and knowingly induced young children and teenagers into addictive and compulsive social media use. Research has shown that young people's use of Meta's social media platforms is associated with depression, anxiety, insomnia, interference with education and daily life, and many other negative outcomes. Meta has been accused of intentionally designing its platforms to manipulate dopamine responses in its young users to maximize time spent on its platforms. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today TV.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
What really should be your alternatives to white refined sugar, which clearly is something that you must avoid? Let's talk about what you can use instead of this white sugar. Number one, organic brown sugar. Organic, then all the very better, because this is extremely healthy. Now what it does essentially is that this is processed, but it is made in the most natural way to retain most of sugarcane's nutrition, and that's the reason why this should be an alternative. Coconut or palm sugar, again extremely healthy sources of sugar, which are alternatives as well, extracted from the flower buds of the coconut palm tree. The sugar has a mild caramel taste and can be used in a number of ways in your delicacies, also for daily consumption. Date sugar, extremely nutritious natural sweetener. Date sugar can be a great addition to your diet. This also is a good alternative. Jaggery or gur, as we know, it has got a world of benefits in terms of what it does to your body. Essentially, a lot of people have spoken about the fact that during pollution, you should be consuming a lot of gur. It's a great alternative to sugar. Also, the fact that it is rich in iron is really an added benefit and added advantage. Raw or unprocessed honey. This too is a great alternative. You can use it in various forms, like you use white refined sugar. It tastes extremely good as well.
Armed with facts, she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
In politics, everyone has an opinion, but I have the data. Whose stock is rising? Whose graph is falling? Track India's political stock exchange. Unmatched, unmissable data analytics. The only show on News TV where numbers do the talking. India's most credible poll tracker. The political stock exchange. With Rahul Kamal, only on India Today.
So sorry.
Yes!
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Tira for every you. The bold look of Kohler. Uppercase never ordinary.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Pooja Shali, and it is the semi-final of 2024 election season that's kick-starting today with Chhattisgarh in central India and Mizoram in the northeast. Polling has started and I'll be taking you through all the details. First, the headlines. Mizoram gears up for a fierce triangular fight. Crucial battle between MNF, which is the ruling party for now, main opposition ZPM, and the Congress. Congress aims to regain lost bastion. Stakes high also for the BJP in northeast. Big 2024 semi-final. Phase 1 of election voting in Chhattisgarh. 3-layer security for Maoist hit Bastar. Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel will eye the second term. Meanwhile, in the southern state of Telengana, election-bound Power Star ties up. Pawan Kalyan, Prime Minister Modi on same stage. BJP banks on Kalyan's youth and OBC appeal. Will Pawan Kalyan power the BJP to victory? Meanwhile, Delhi NCR continues to be in hazardous category, choking to breathe for the 5th day in a row. But while the AQI has marginally dipped to 400, but still in severe. In international news, war is raging for 1 month and counting. Israel says Gaza city split into 2. Gaza areas have been reduced to ghost town. Pakistan was rallying for Palestinians, but for Afghans has no emotions. Afghans in lakhs have been asked to leave, while Pakistan claims these are illegal immigrants. But this is, remember, as much about their worsening relationship with Taliban now.
Co-presented by Aapka Joy, Bharat Ka Joy, Joy e-bike. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat.
As polling started in the northeastern state of Manipur, Chief Minister, incumbent of the state, Zomthanga, was one of the first to come and cast his vote, but was unable to. His vote got delayed because of a technical snag. Mizoram Chief Minister will vote after visiting the constituency. He was one of the first to come and inspire others to vote, but there was a technical snag. He could not cast his vote. And he says that, and I'm quoting here, he said that because there was a technical snag that was reported with the machine that was not working, and we hope that perhaps this does not continue for the rest of the day, because Mizoram will be very crucial. For now, he will visit his constituency and then return for the vote to be cast. But at least remember, for the Chief Minister incumbent to be one of the first to arrive, also sending out a good message to voters irrespective of their ideology.
Today you will not vote. So why? So what were?
Because the machine was not working. I was waiting for some time. But since the machine could not work, I said that I will visit my constituency and I will vote after the morning meal.
Suryagini is joining me from Iswal for the latest on that. Suryagini, go ahead. So that was very interesting. He was one of the first, gave a reaction also on the political future, but could not cast a vote himself. But also apart from that, do tell us about what does political future look like, as much for Zomthanga, for the MNF, but for the parties in Mizoram, one of the states where BJP does not have any sort of alliance, even though MNF is in NDA at the centre.
Well, that's the question and that's the answer, Pooja, that MNF, just a while back, Zomthanga, he mentioned that they are at the center, they are with the NDA, but over here they are not with the BJP. That's a very, very politically, correct statement maybe to make on the day of polling, that over here they want to go by themselves, and maybe because somewhere he knows for a fact that the BJP might not be having, many seats. If you look at their kitty, the BJP's kitty over here, in the past election, that was one. So maybe that's the reason why he made such a comment. Now coming back to the new party, which is being termed as a dark horse, the ZPM, Zoram People's Movement. It's got multiple leaders, stalwarts of the Congress and of the civil society. Whether or not they will be able to make a dent is something only only time will say. They have been claiming that it's high time that the people of Mizoram, they elect a new party, they elect new leaders over here. But what happens on the 3rd will, we all will come to know about it on the 3rd. There are so many people over here who have come to cast their vote right now, and it looks like a festival of the sorts. And we try and speak to someone over here. Madam, have you casted your vote?
Yes, I have just finished. Yeah.
Can show your finger, please.
Yes. Yeah.
So she has already put her vote. So what are the things that you look at when you go to vote? Any specific issue that you consider?
Yeah, what the particular candidate in the particular party that I want should be, should win. That's all.
That's a very simple answer that...
Yeah, I casted my vote with a winning attitude. Yeah.
So, people over here, they start pretty early, and the way elections we have, covered throughout the country, and how elections take place over here in Mizoram, especially the campaigning puja, it's completely different to how we have seen. It's very simple, it's very, very, it's a quiet affair, and it started pretty early, 6:45, that's when Zoram Thanga came in. He couldn't vote due to a technical issue, but what we have been told that he'll be right back shortly, and will cast his vote. The final thing that, you were asking me, whether a new political, identity or a new political party will be able to do something over here or not, that's only time can say. But yes, it's a three-way contest, and the BJP is trying their level best to make sure that even in this three-way fight, they make their presence felt. Pooja.
Gani, stay on with me, because Mizoram will be very crucial. That is one state where the regional parties have a stronger sway compared to the BJP or the Congress party. And for our viewers, to help you understand more about Mizoram and why it is so crucial, it is of course a border state, but also that is one state where the BJP wants to get in and the Congress wants to regain government. This is our election dashboard, and I would like to take you through all the details here that we have. Let's begin with Mizoram first, which is the northeastern state, and this is where we'll tell you what exactly is the situation looking like. The northeastern state, a border state, who are, remember, the VVIP candidates. Take a look at that. As you can see, ZPM and the MNF. MNF is the ruling party, Mizo National Front. The ZPM is the main opposition party. They hold the sway. They have the maximum leaders. But the BJP won a seat previously, and that is why it is going to be very crucial. There are, of course, the Congress also that has been in alliance earlier in the government in Mizoram, and that's why with Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, it will want to have the hold in the northeastern state. But could the BJP, which has MNF in alliance in the center, not in Mizoram, would also wait and watch cautiously which party gets the seats this time. And just to look at the seats for the background, just to tell you about 2018, how the northeastern state of Mizoram was. Out of 40 seats in the northeastern state, the Mizo National Front got the maximum 27. BJP did win 1. But it was the Congress party that nevertheless managed to get 4 and the others 8. So will there be an alliance needed, or the regional parties will want to keep their clout running for the state of Mizoram? But it's very crucial. One state where the BJP is not in the ruling government, either directly or by alliance, but will want to possibly find an option, and Congress also wants to regain its power in the government. Let me now take you through the details of the state of Mizoram. With the polling that has started, people have started to come and cast their vote already. It is a slow start, but of course it will pick up in the next few hours. But what is important for Mizoram are the parties that are contesting. Mizo National Front and Zoram People's Movement are most crucial. 1,276 voting centers, 149 are remote polling stations. Now, the ruling Mizo National Front and the main opposition, Zoram People's Movement, have the maximum hold in the state. But the Congress party also have fielded all 40 seats, all 40 candidates on the seats. BJP, meanwhile, have fielded on 23. Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal's party, has also fielded on 4 seats in Mizoram. There are also 27 independents in the fray as well. So by no means take the state of Mizoram lightly. It is very crucial. All parties will be eyeing this state. Meanwhile, security has been tightened. It's a border state, so the borders have been sealed for the day to ensure smooth functioning of Mizoram.
Sir, almost all political pundits have predicted that it's going to be a hung assembly this time. How do you see your party from henceforth? Like, will you go into a coalition if required to form the government?
Well, it will not be a hung assembly. It will be an eminent government. I have a full confidence in that.
The border is very porous and we have a visa-free regime. So 16 kilometers on both sides, people can freely enter the other country without any visa requirements. So that can be misused by antisocial elements. So considering the long border that we have and the visa-free regime that we have, we have to ensure that there is no unauthorized movement of contraband goods.
Mizoram is facing a major movement of drugs and the drugs are transiting through Mizoram, which is then taken to various parts of the country and even beyond. Recently we have made various arrests. We have seized more than 45 worth crores of crystal meth. We are aware of the mountainous terrain and the difficulties in guarding the entire border areas. Nonetheless, we are up to it. We have formed a separate team of narcotics headed by an SP, which has been able to lay hands on these important seizures.
So let me give you a little more background to help you understand why Mizoram is so crucial. In Mizoram, it was the Mizo National Front that got 38% vote share. It did get the highest one. It is the ruling party in the government, even though it is in alliance with the National Democratic Alliance, NDA, and that means the BJP at the center, but not in Mizoram. And Congress got 30%. So Congress definitely has a strong clout in the northeastern state. It has been in alliance with the government earlier as well. But 18% went to the BJP, which means slowly and steadily, BJP has made inroads into Mizoram too. Others, including the ZPM and other parties, have also made those details for you. And now going on the ground right now. So these are the details coming in about more votes that are coming in. I'm told this is Mizoram governor. That's right. We can see who's casting his vote. And that's very crucial, remember, that for every citizen to come forth and early in the morning to set an example. This is Aizawl in Mizoram, where the governor of Mizoram has cast his vote. Now, the Chief Minister was, in fact, one of the first to come, but sadly could not vote right away. There was a technical snag in the voting machine. So he's decided to go ahead, have a morning meeting with his party leaders, and then he will return to cast the vote. Remember, these are the days that we're thankful for a democracy where people, irrespective of their ideologies, differences, get to exercise the biggest option that they have, which is to choose their leader who runs whether their country, whether their state, their local areas. And the state elections are always more crucial because that directly will concern the resident of that state. Mizoram also has been long inflicted, remember, with the conflict issues. It is a border state. There are law and order issues too. But it's also a state that has seen massive development. Areas, Christian majority constituencies, very interesting politics of the state, but also it has seen the progress, but a lot more needs to be done. And that's why the leadership that is being chosen by the people today in Mizoram. Mountainous terrains, there are about 149 remote polling stations. So all sorts of arrangements that have been made. From the northeastern state of Manipur, let me now bring you to the central part of India, which is Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh also is in the election mode today. It is the first phase for Chhattisgarh. All eyes will be on the key battles that could change the game. The first phase of polling for 20 seats, including 12 from Bastar division, has begun, and it will be remaining 70 seats that will be on 17th November. In Sukma, for example, because there are Naxalite-infested areas, there are reports of one Jawan of the CRPF's Cobra battalion being injured in an IED blast triggered by Naxals in the Tondmarka area. The Jawan was deployed for patrolling duty and has received injuries. Remember, 60,000 security personnel have been deployed in Chhattisgarh and specifically in the Bastar division to ensure smooth polling. Results with all states will be announced on 3rd December.
देखिए, पूरे प्रदेश के लगभग 20 विधानसभा में लोकतंत्र का महापर्व चल रहा है और लगातार सुबह से ये संख्या जो आई हुई है वो इस बात को साबित करता है कि छत्तीसगढ़ पे कांग्रेस की सरकार को यहाँ से हटाए और विकास की गंगा बहाए। जिस उद्देश्य के साथ में छत्तीसगढ़ को बनाया गया था उन उद्देश्यों की पूर्ति नहीं हो पा रही है। कांग्रेस ने लगातार भ्रष्टाचार के एक नए आयाम स्थापित किए हैं। इस बार लोग घर से निकल करके कांग्रेस को हटाना चाहते हैं।
भूपेश जी मुख्यमंत्री हैं, सट्टा जुआ अपराध यदि हो रहा है तो 1-1.5 साल से हो रहा है, कार्रवाई करते, अरेस्ट करते, गिरफ्तारी करते, कोई कार्रवाई किया नहीं। FIR तक तो दर्ज नहीं किया छत्तीसगढ़ में। ED को क्यों आना पड़ा? PMLA में, प्रिवेंशन ऑफ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्ट में जब करोड़ रुपये, हजारों करोड़ का ट्रांजैक्शन दिख रहा है तो ED को भी आना पड़ा, ED को भी आना पड़ा।
वीडियो जो है बीजेपी ने जारी किया है, है ना? प्रेस नोट है, ED ने जारी किया। तो मतलब कितना बढ़िया संबंध है। जैसे पहले कार्रवाई करते थे ED और प्रेस विज्ञप्ति जारी करता था रमन सिंह। तो ये तो ED और भाजपा की मिली भगत है, वो तो स्पष्ट हो गया है।
ये कांग्रेस की पहचान है। जहां कांग्रेस होगी वही भ्रष्टाचार होगा। ये एक ही सिक्के के दो पहलू हैं। ये भूपेश बघेल की OSD, ऑफिसर ऑन स्पेशल ड्यूटी, क्या घर से पैसे मिले थे कि नहीं मिले थे? जेल में है कि नहीं है? 1.5 साल से जेल में है भूपेश बघेल की OSD। आप बताइए 5 साल में क्या क्या हुआ? ये घोटाले पे घोटाला हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? और तो और छोड़िए, गोठान घोटाला हुआ, सब तरीके का घोटाला हुआ। कभी आपने सुना था कि गोबर का भी घोटाला हुआ? भूपेश बघेल ने गोबर का भी घोटाला कर दिया, गोबर का भी।
All right, so let me now go on the ground in Chhattisgarh, and Ishwara Paliwal is now joining me. Ishwara, where are you right now? What is the buzz around? Are people coming in? Because I know in areas which are not cities and towns, they are the ones who specifically come. If they are villagers, they'll be the first to arrive early morning, all dressed up to exercise their vote. What does it look like in the location that you're at?
Well, Pooja, the place where I'm standing, you rightly pointed out that we have seen how, in areas which are rural areas, and it's also something that the Election Commission, in fact, has been speaking about, that there's a fatigue when we speak about the urban areas. The queues, Pooja, here pretty long. The women voters have turned up in large numbers, and it actually is the woman voter which both the parties now want should be in their kitty. We speak about the security personnel. You'll be able to see that this very heavy deployment, because this entire Bastar region, is extremely sensitive, Pooja, when we speak about the kind of incidents that are taking place. In the past 24 hours, there have been small instances which have been taking places. There have been certain blasts. One person has also lost his life. So keeping all these things in mind, in this area, in this polling booth station, there are close to 10 to 15 security personnel who have been deployed here. This is the district is Bastar, the place where I am standing. The voting has already begun. And from what we are understanding, we will see that the voting percentage, historically too, Pooja, we have seen the state on an average the voting percentage is close to 70, which is pretty good. So both the parties are now banking on the fact that people will come out and vote. One of the major things in this issue has been corruption, at least from the BJP side. It was Prime Minister Narendra Modi, then Home Minister Amit Shah, then the BJP President JP Nadda, all of them harping on the fact that this is one of the most corrupt governments that the state has ever seen. But we have the Congress party on the other side, which has now doled out and said that they will make sure that there is Kisan Karza Maafi. So that too is a big issue in the state this time. We'll have to wait and watch, who will win the state. The result will be out on 3rd of December. But at the moment, polling taking place and in large numbers, people, Pooja, have already turned out here in Bastar. All of them all set to exercise their right to vote. Pooja.
Right, so only 20 seats for now, but remember, many more seats specifically in the second phase. Chhattisgarh, very crucial, as much as Mizoram for different reasons for all parties. And that's why we'll continue with this telecast. Aishwarya Palewal is on the ground, and so is Suryagani in Mizoram, and all other colleagues. And slowly and steadily, we'll go across to them in the next few hours. Thank you so much, Aishwarya. A long day for you to get us what exactly this day, very crucial for a democracy, really, where people decide who will govern them. I'm heading into a very short break. I'm wrapping up this bulletin, but to ensure that you are tuned in to all the election news, it is the election season, the semi-final to 2024. We've found a way to come to you directly. Join India Today now on WhatsApp. #1 election team gets you this detailed information with the QR code that you can scan, and always stay updated with election news. Thank you for watching.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Get ready for an immersive journey into the heart of news, politics, and insights that matter. Join India Today now on WhatsApp with the #1 election team as we gear up for the upcoming assembly elections. Do scan the QR code.
Join India Today now on WhatsApp. Follow these steps. Open WhatsApp on your phone. Check for a new updates tab. Select Find Channel and type India Today. After finding the channel, tap the Follow button.
Indians are celebrating this festive season with Apple this year. According to reports, for the first time ever, iPhone sales have crossed the 15 lakh unit mark in just the first week of this festive season. And though iPhone 15 is really the latest model, it's actually the previous 13 and 14 models which are flying off the shelves. It's not just the iPhone. Other top-end handsets are also in huge demand. In fact, analysts here say the festive sales are being driven by premium phones this year. On Flipkart, premium segment sales grew almost 50% this year, driven by the iPhone 14 and Samsung Galaxy S21. On Amazon, the segment zoomed 200% on higher sales of iPhone 13 and Galaxy S23. The online retailers, as per a report, has clocked gross merchandise sales of 47,000 crore rupees in just the first week, growing at least 19% over the first week of 2022 festive season. And of this, 67% or nearly 32,000 crore rupees is due to mobiles, electronics and large appliances. Interestingly, it's the top-end smartphone segment which is really thriving. The mid segment is also growing, though the sub 15,000 rupee segment is shrinking this festive season. Analysts say that this could be, in part, indicative of the fact that rural and small-town India have not yet really emerged from their economic uncertainties of the last couple of years. In fact, a study has, however, noted a boom in sales of 5G-enabled handsets, especially in the 10 to 15,000 rupee price band. This is because companies like Samsung, Realme, Vivo have all launched phones in this very segment. According to Flipkart, its big billion sales saw premium smartphone segments grow a whopping 1.7 times over last year. There was a 50% rise in customers opting for exchange schemes and a 160% rise in customers going for no-cost EMIs.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
तब वनवास से प्रभु राम लौटे थे अयोध्या और अयोध्या की दिवाली हो गई। इस बार अयोध्या में दिवाली आई है और प्रभु राम अपने मंदिर में आ रहे हैं। इसी पर बातचीत करने के लिए, राम मंदिर के निर्माण पर बात करने के लिए बेहद खास मेहमान हमारे साथ राम मंदिर निर्माण समिति के चेयरमैन नृपेंद्र मिश्र जी जुड़ रहे हैं। बहुत स्वागत है सर आपका। देश भर में लोग इंतजार कर रहे हैं और प्रधानमंत्री ने जनवरी के महीने में तारीख भी दे दी है। तो अब आप जिस तरह से लगे हुए हैं लगातार इस निर्माण पे, कहां तक काम पहुंचा है और जनवरी में क्या क्या पूरा हो जाएगा, और दर्शन के लिए जो लोग आतुर हैं वो कब तक इंतजार करें?
काम तो देखिए बहुत अभी अधूरा है। जनवरी 22 तक
जी
हम लोगों ने फेज 1 का आश्वासन दिया है कि वो पूरा हो जाएगा। उसमें सम्मिलित है, ये आप जहां खड़े हो ये भूतल है और ये ईस्टर्न एंट्रेंस है।
ईस्टर्न एंट्रेंस,
और ईस्टर्न एंट्रेंस में आप खड़े हो और यहाँ से जो भी श्रद्धालु आएगा वो 5 मंडपों को पार करता हुआ गर्भगृह में पहुंचेगा। लगभग आप समझिए यहाँ से उसको 390 फीट चलना होगा अगर उसको गर्भगृह के सामने पहुंचना है। यह 5 हमारे जो मंडप हैं ये पूरे हो जाएंगे। गर्भगृह में भगवान स्थापित हो जाएंगे निश्चित रूप से। प्रथम तल पे हम लोग का कार्य चलता रहेगा। उसके लिए हम व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं कि बिना किसी सेफ्टी कॉम्प्रोमाइज के श्रद्धालु भी आते जाएं, दर्शन करते जाएं और हमारा कार्य भी प्रथम तल का हो, क्योंकि द्वितीय चरण में दिसंबर 2024 तक पूरे मंदिर को निर्माण पूरा हो जाना है। यानी प्रथम तल, सेकेंड स्टोरी, शिखर, पूरा सारा लोअर प्लिंथ, परकोटा, ये सब दिसंबर 2024 में पूर्ण हो जाएगा। ये परकोटा है।
परकोटा,
हाँ
जी।
सामान्य श्रद्धालु के लिए ये परिक्रमा मार्ग है।
अच्छा,
तो इसमें एक तरीके से वह वॉक करेगा और कुल उसकी वॉक जो परिक्रमा की होगी वो 795 मीटर होगी। 795 मीटर,
795 मीटर।
हाँ। और इसका आप इसे अनुमान लगाएं कि ये एक तरीके से मंदिर की सुरक्षा की व्यवस्था भी है।
प्रेजेंटेड बाय आपका जॉय, भारत का जॉय, जॉय ई बाइक। को पावर्ड बाय पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी, वडोदरा, गुजरात।
What do the young and restless of Telengana really want? All right, elections right here. Are you excited? Will you vote? One reason why you will vote.
We need hostel facilities.
Hostel seats too.
What's your opinion on the upcoming elections?
Yes, for youth it would be a measure for employment.
BRS party has been failing every time, and we have given 2 times of election of this time.
Now this time BRS party bye-bye, only Congress.
What do you like about Telangana?
Of course, biryani.
Elections are just round the corner, and what the youth decides will really suggest, or basically that would hinge to who's going to come to power here in the state. Join me on this special. The stunning Hyderabad city. I'm in Telangana. India Today's election special gets rolling. In fact, Telangana is known to be the youngest state, with nearly 30% of its population considered to be the youth. So it's very interesting to find out what the young and restless youth of Telangana really want. I'm here in Telangana, the bustling city. Elections are just around the corner, and what the youth decides will really suggest, or basically that would hinge to who's going to come to power here in the state. It's surely worth to see elections in Telangana through the lenses of the youth. The number of opinions that you get here is just simply amazing, and they're really the deciding factor ultimately. They form a large chunk of the population, as I've told you. I have with me the students of Sultan Ulm Education Society from different departments that I managed to gather. How's the Josh? Election Josh, guys? Jai Telangana! Oh, Jai Telangana. Lovely. Okay, let me ask you the girls, what are you looking forward to as a youth, a student? What do you want for Telangana?
As a student, I want all the students, regardless of the socio-economic factors, to have access to quality education.
Right.
And all the teachers should have a platform where the enhanced education is provided to all. And the leaders can give initiatives like scholarships, and they can also give funding to the below poverty line students to come in a college where
so quality education, access to education, more than freebies. Does anyone want to speak about the freebies? Are you happy with the scooty announced by one of the parties versus a scholarship? Yeah?
No.
Scooty, scholarship?
No.
What would you pick?
Right, scholarship, obviously, because when we are educated, we might have the ability to purchase that scooty on our behalf rather than getting a scooty directly.
Oh, wow, nice one. What about, what else? Are you looking at women's safety? Do you feel safe in Telangana?
Actually, ma'am, I think the major problem I can see right here is the religious hatred among peoples.
Oh, really? Is that? Okay.
Which is actually leading our country to backward side instead of progress.
But I've hardly seen any communal tensions in Telangana in the recent.
Recently there have been, but it was diverted. So I'm hoping for the party to come in power who can manage the peace between different groups of people.
All right, well said. This government, so basically insinuating that you want to give the BRS another chance.
It's not like that, but still there's a huge difference in new city and old city of Hyderabad and all the other states, and the infrastructure should be considered as an important important impact.
This should be full plan. Correct. And that should be part of their manifesto.
Absolutely right.
You know, but they're claiming that they're inviting many companies, they're getting many jobs. Is that true? Would you say that you're seeing that happening?
Yes, it is right.
Please come forward. Yeah.
To some extent, yes, it is true. But I would want more development to happen, and the concentration from core part of the city should move to the other parts of Telangana state, so that there will be development all across the state and people will get equal opportunities across all districts rather than concentrating only in some part of the city or some part of cities in Telangana. I want the development to happen across all districts and all mandals of the Telangana state.
That's very well said. You know, often you have Telangana parents in Telangana, as is in most other states, I guess, that they want their children to go abroad, study abroad, get opportunities abroad. Why do you think there isn't that kind of ecosystem here where, or stress on the fact that I want my son or a daughter to study in India itself? I want them to flourish in India.
In fact, this has changed. I can say that this has changed now. In Telangana, you have got multinational companies coming. The Apple has come, Facebook has come, now Foxconn has also come. So you'll have greater opportunities in the coming years. Let's see who will form the government, and then we can predict what will happen. And
As a law student, I want to tell you that we are looking forward to get associated with the governmental offices and
You're looking at government jobs.
Yes, more representation of women in the government, per se, parliament and assembly. And as a future advocate, on behalf of my fellow mates, I would request to get associated with the government.
All right. So you basically government jobs that you're looking forward to.
Yes, ma'am. Even though business students also are looking for the job opportunities, even about the experience freshers are not having. So I would like to request for the placements and even the securities for the girls. Like
women's safety is a concern.
Yes. Like now it has developed that they are providing cab facilities and all. So I feel like this should be more improved.
Yeah, you're saying that if infrastructure protecting women.
Yes, ma'am. Also, I think there should be better entrepreneurship facilities. Like people should know how to develop entrepreneurial skills. Maybe give them more entrepreneurial learning. Like as a business student, I think entrepreneurship is also a field which could do wonders.
All right. What kind of improvement do you suggest there? Inviting more companies, maybe get.
Yeah, we could do that, and supporting the small businesses which are already doing their work.
Yeah.
Giving them more support, like through finance or anything.
Right. Lovely.
Yeah.
I just want to say that parties should be on their words, like before election, how they enthusiastically promises the youth and public that they'll be giving everything, providing with resources and many more things. But after, as soon as they get elected, they'll be just like celebrating among themselves and neglecting people's hopes. So I just want them to stick on their words, and as soon as they get elected, they should start supplying things what they have promised for, whether it be a scholarship or it be an LPG cylinder for less amount or whatever it may be. And experienced leaders should now give chance to young youth members who are really like they can take level high to Telangana. As far as development, okay, Telangana is fine, but for resources and public poverty empowerment, I really want parties to just indulge and help poor as how they ask for votes. I just want them to help in the same way.
Basically, live up to your promises.
Yeah, live up to your
promises, tall promises. A lot of them don't live up to it.
Just don't make promise a word. Just for make it happen, fulfill and and just reach to the hopes of people who genuinely voted for you. Yeah.
And as we are speaking about women empowerment, we want more women ministers so that they can represent us on their behalf.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess in the government right now and the elections, so we want the women to take a stand and be our representatives.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, great.
I agree with the brain drain system in India. Major people, the smarter people, are going out of India because of the caste reservation. Because like everything, majority of seats and jobs and schools or even in colleges are reserved for categories.
Right.
So I think that should be like removed, and laws should be strengthened so that these people can get access to education.
Right.
And I think these reservations should be based on economic conditions, which is actually better. So the smarter people won't go out of India and can work for our country.
Correct.
So
It should be based on your credibility, talent.
yeah, exactly. So we can grab
rather than caste.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, caste reservation is a heated debate that's been going on for decades, but ultimately it appears that the youth have spoken. We're only hoping that the government of the day listens. Whoever comes to power, remember, it's their vote behind it. So let's hope this resonates. It took me such a long time to convince some of the youth here to speak their mind. The daylight is down, but at least I've got them to speak. What's your opinion on the upcoming elections? As a youth, what are you looking forward to?
BRS.
Straight up, huh? BRS it is.
BRS.
Why? I mean, why? Okay, tell me why.
He's doing nice development for youth. He's doing development. He's seeing to giving the offers, giving the benefits, jobs. So many things KTR is doing.
Well, this is all surface level information. Give me specifics. Anything that you really feel.
Ma'am, there is no right politician in the city right now because there are more problems in the drainage. They have drainage problems, poor people and everything. There is nothing like which you see the tank in the Telengana. That is not Telengana outside the tankman, ma'am. You can see a lot of problem facing. There are mosquito problems. They are facing problems. They are ration cards problems. They are double bedroom problems. Everything is going to only BRS people, ma'am. No one is helping to another poor people.
Basically, you're saying all political parties have failed to fix your problem.
All political parties, ma'am. Basically, BRS party has been failing every time, ma'am. We have given 2 times of election of this time.
This is a BRS fan right next to you.
Listen, ma'am. KCR.
Very clearly, he says BRS has failed.
Because KCR has done only for the, you can see here only the Telangana Secretariat and the BR statue and the tankman. You can't see the drainage lines, you can't see the floods and you can't see the water coming through the tankman outside the, in the Gandhinagar. All the roads
actual problems are covered up. Huh?
No, ma'am, no problem has been covered up by the Telangana. You can go inside the Musirabad area and you can search every lane. You might face every single problem from a single home, ma'am.
Yeah, look at the emotion that he's speaking with. I mean, you're probably blinded by the development, but here's a man, a youth here who says that he's struggling with poor facilities.
In this area, development is going on, ma'am.
Yeah, but this is one of the prime central localities.
Already 10 years happened. Already 10. When it will be going on? Development. Already third election it is came now.
So you're saying problems are more than development?
More than. Straightforward we are now this time BRS party bye. Only Congress. Only
Congress. Congress has not been here for so long. Why are you confident?
From central and state also we are expecting youth Congress party only.
Congress is selling the lands, okay? The Congress has Akasai Chin, okay? Now when they are told ek bal.
Yes, Congress. No, Congress.
No.
Yes or no?
No, Congress.
But this cafe, Nilufar's cafe, super packed, crowded all the time. And I think this is the best place to try and get some opinions on the upcoming elections. I guess now when your guard is let down, elections round the corner. Clearly, if there's one thing that a political party can promise you, what can that be?
Maybe good opportunities for employees.
Employment opportunities?
Yes.
That's really the primary reason, right? For youth to vote.
Yes, for youth it would be a measure for employment. So if the government provide the correct opportunities, they may vote for the correct government.
You can choose right.
You can choose right, but employment it is. That's what you're looking for, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Main thing.
Yes.
Anything else?
Education system also, we can expect mainly education system and then next employment.
Okay, but tell me, when you say employment, why do you say it's so difficult? I see this buddy here enjoying your tea. Do you like your chai?
Yeah.
What's so nice about it?
It's different.
Zafrani chai. Okay, what is that one thing you want to ask to the government that will come after the election?
To get more job opportunities.
Okay, job opportunities. All of you, job?
No. Students.
No, what do you want? If you want to ask government, what do you ask?
I will ask government jobs.
You want government jobs? 1.9 lakh government jobs or government job vacancies, but they were not able to fill it. And here are the youth who are dying to get a job. But tell me, when you say job opportunities, what's so difficult? Why are you not finding a job?
Actually, from various places we are getting crowded people for the job. So for one job we are getting a huge of opportunity.
You're saying for one vacancy there's lots of people applying.
Yes.
Well, I surely can't get enough of the charm of Charminar in its full glory right here at the backdrop. I waited until it got dark so that I could capture this fully lit up Charminar right here, the iconic spot in Hyderabad. And I have with me youth leaders from the BJP Yuva Morcha, Nitin joining me. We have Prashant from the BRS, who's a youth leader himself. We have the Congress youth president in this district, Rohit, who's also with us. So I got lucky to have all of the three here. Usually, if a media person or if a reporter isn't mediating, I understand that the groups are quarreling, finish their quarrel and then they all go have chai together like this. So I'm starting from reverse. I'm getting them to have chai first and then fight. All right, getting straight to the political heat as the state is gaining steam now. BRS is in power. Prashant, you're the youth leader. What is it that you're promising the youth this time? And have you delivered on your promises for the youth in the past?
Yes, definitely. We have delivered so many promises. After formation of state in 2014, till now in 2020, up to 2023, we have delivered 2,25,000 jobs, where 1,36,000 jobs already has given notification, and we have given the appointment also.
And delivered 2 lakh odd jobs, and yet Telangana is has the highest unemployment rate in the country, 15.1%. Nitin is from the BJP Yuva Morcha. Nitin,
हाईएस्ट फेलियर है टीआरएस गवर्नमेंट इसलिए है क्योंकि पिछले 9 साल से तेलंगाना इसलिए बना हुआ है कि यहाँ के युवाओं को नौकरी मिलना चाहिए और नौकरी के साथ साथ उनका भविष्य उज्जवल होना चाहिए। लेकिन आज हम देख सकते हैं कि 9 साल से अब तक नोटिफिकेशन नहीं है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी लगातार 9 साल से हम लड़ रहे, पिछले 2 साल से भारतीय जनता युवा मोर्चा जेल में भी गए, कितने केसेस भी बुक हुए, लेकिन अब तक नोटिफिकेशन नहीं आया। अभी जैसा कि हमारे भाई बोल रहे हैं कि नोटिफिकेशन आया, 2 लाख आया, सिर्फ वो नोटिफिकेशन तक।
So no, it's just limited to notification. But if I'll come to you, the Congress is now promising that you will ensure all the 1.9 lakh vacant jobs within the government departments will be fulfilled.
Yes.
How do you plan that?
See, I'll tell you one thing. The state of Telangana has been formed on the promise on the fight of the youngsters who have been fighting for the jobs. So after the formation of Telangana, the youth of the state have been hopeful of getting a lot of jobs for the youngsters. But unlike what they've expected, in the past 9 years, nothing has been done for the youngsters, no jobs. And this year, becoming the election year, they have announced a few notifications, and the Group 1 exams also have been held, but the paper leakages and all the scams have brought them down. And the youngsters are so disappointed that this BRS government has not been able to organize a proper examination. So this BRS government has completely let down the youth of the state, and the youth of the state are looking towards the Congress party.
Completely let down by the youth. I mean, the youth are completely let down by BRS. The TSPSC examination postponement constantly, the paper leak of that, one student has committed suicide because of the delays and their future's uncertainty. Will the BRS take blame for it?
No, absolutely not, because the student has committed suicide for some other reason, not for the job reason. As far as the TSPSC paper leakage is concerned, there is a thorough investigation that is going on, and I am just not talking about the TSPSC jobs that we are created. Under the dynamic leadership of our KTR Gar, in these 10 years of Telangana, there has been a largest ecosystem that has been developed where EODB, we are standing at the first, and there are 20 lakh employment which are being created due to the software companies that has gone.
Software companies, 20 lakh jobs that are going to be created in the future.
These are already created. We have created the employment and the ecosystem that we have created. Every time we go to UK, every time we go to USA, KTR is getting investments to Telangana, and there is a larger ecosystem.
Like for example, a Foxconn. At Max, a Foxconn will give, I mean, it's great that you are bringing it. You've invited and you've laid the foundation for Foxconn to come here. 500 jobs at Max. How can it really solve the 15% rise?
Coming here. No, I would like to ask my learned friend to tell me how many of the Telangana youth have got jobs in these software companies, because people from all over the country are getting the jobs, but
outsiders are taking away.
Very true, very true. And they need to do something for the home youth of Telangana.
बाहर से जो लोग आ रहे हैं वो ज्यादा जॉब दे रहे हैं।
देखिए मैडम, आज आपको मैं एक डेटा भी देने के लिए तैयार हूँ। यहाँ पर इतने सारा तेलंगाना में यूथ ग्रेजुएशन, डिग्री, इंटर करने के बाद भी रोडों पर स्विगी जैसे इसमें काम कर रहा है।
क्यों?
इसलिए कर रहा है क्योंकि यहाँ पर अगर यकीनन केटीआर यूथ है, यूथ के नाते अगर उन जॉब नोटिफिकेशन देते तो आज जो यूथ रोड पर काम कर रहा वो आज ऑफिसों पे काम करता था।
at the end of it, the welfare and the well-being of the youth is what all that matters. The youth today really have the power in their hands. They are the deciding factor here in Telangana, with a whopping 30% of population all falling in that category. As we call them youth, they are the ones now who will really decide which government comes back. Would it be the BRS? Would Congress be pushed to power? Would there be a motivating answer for the BJP? Thank you very much, all of you guys, for joining us. This is Nabila Jamal signing off from Charminar, right outside Hyderabad, with camera person Prashant for India Today.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
दिल्ली के अंदर वाहनों के पोल्यूशन को कम करने के लिए जो पीओसी को चेक करने का अभियान ट्रांसपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट और ट्रैफिक पुलिस ने किया है। आप जानते हैं कि जो पीओसी वायलेशन होता है 10,000 रुपए का फाइन लगता है। 1, 2, 3 ग्रैब के दौरान 28,471 चालान जो है वो किए गए, जिससे कि लोगों में पीओसी को लेकर के जो पोल्यूटेड गाड़ियां हैं उनको कंट्रोल किया जा सके। जो चूंकि ये संभावना दिख रही है कि दिवाली के बाद प्रदूषण का स्तर बढ़ सकता है, उसको देखते हुए दिल्ली के अंदर दिवाली के अगले दिन 13 नवंबर से 20 नवंबर तक एक हफ्ते का जो है वो ऑड इवन फार्मूला जो है वो दिल्ली में जो है लागू किया जाएगा। ये 13 दिवाली के अगले दिन 13 नवंबर से शुरू होगा और 20 तारीख तक वो चलेगा। उस एक सप्ताह के ऑड इवन की समीक्षा करके उस समय जो प्रदूषण की स्थिति होगी उसकी समीक्षा करके फिर आगे का निर्णय लिया जाएगा।
If I brush harder, my teeth will be cleaner. I don't really need to deal with bad breath. Popping mint will solve it. I can't get a dental X-ray. It can be dangerous. Pregnant women should not go to a dentist. I have crooked teeth, but how can I wear braces? Is that not for kids? These and many more myths around oral health prevents us from getting the right kind of attention our teeth and gums deserve. We are busting a dozen of these myths, and our experts are weighing in on each one of them. Do you have yellow teeth and brush till your gums bleed? Then stop immediately. It's important to brush your teeth thoroughly. However, brushing too hard can wear down the enamel and cause discoloration and sensitivity. In addition, brushing too hard may also damage your gums and even cause them to bleed and recede. While we all love chewing gum and the fresh breath it leaves us with at least for some time, this is not the solution to bad breath. It is not to say that chewing gum does not have its benefits for oral health. However, it is never a replacement for brushing your teeth. Sugar-free gum can help displace bacteria in the mouth, increase saliva production, and freshen your breath, but it will not remove the sticky plaque that builds up on your teeth.
are watching India Today. Powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a B&P Group company.
Israel-Hamas have been at war. Women, children, men are being attacked. And innocent lives have been lost on both sides. The conflict has impacted every aspect of Israel's infrastructure, including the film and TV industry. Angelina Jolie, who is widely known for her humanitarian work, took to Instagram and condemned the Israeli airstrikes in Gaza, describing it as the deliberate bombing of a trapped population. In an Instagram post, she shared a photo depicting the devastation caused by an airstrike at Jabalia, Gaza's largest refugee camp. Even singer and actor Selena Gomez announced that she will be deleting her Instagram account amidst all the trolling and hate that she received online. However, just a little while later, she deleted the story in which she had made this announcement, and her account is still active. The Hollywood pop icon had recently shared a heart-touching note on Instagram condemning the violence against innocent civilians, especially children.
Hi everyone, I wanted to take a moment and say thank you to everyone for their messages, for their prayers, for their wishes. I'm back, I'm home, I'm safe, I'm fine. But just 2 days back, I woke up in a hotel room in Tel Aviv with bomb sounds around me and sirens blaring, and we were taken down to a basement and shelter areas. And मैं पहले ऐसे सिचुएशन में कभी रही नहीं हूँ, बट आज जब मैं अपने घर में उठी हूँ with no sounds and feeling safe and feeling fine, तो मुझे realize हो रहा है कि कितनी बड़ी बात है, हम कितने fortunate हैं कि हम इस country में हैं.
And with halted production and mass destruction because of the ongoing war, the country will require time to get back on its feet. With Gyanisha Malik, Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Xiaomi, tech se smart, dil se smart. Titan I Plus, expert who cares.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Pooja Shali. Today is the day we exercise our biggest power, the power to vote and elect our leaders. Chhattisgarh in central India, Mizoram in northeastern state. Two states that are heading now for assembly elections. The polling has started, so I'll be telling you all the latest, and Preeti Chaudhary is on the ground as well. Let's begin first with the headlines coming in. Big 2024 semi-final, as this is being called, is kicked off. Phase 1 of election polling in Chhattisgarh. 3-layer security for the Maoist-hit Bastar division. Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel will eye a second term. Northeastern state of Mizoram gears up for a fierce triangular fight. It will be a crucial battle between the ruling MNF, also main opposition ZPM, and the Congress party. Congress will aim to regain lost bastion, but the stakes are high for the BJP in this northeastern state. The state of Telengana not heading for polling today, but is one of those election-bound states, and Power Star is tying up with the BJP. Pawan Kalyan, actor-turned-neta, and PM Modi on the same stage. BJP will want to bank on Kalyan's youth appeal, actor appeal and OBC appeal. Could Pawan Kalyan help power the BJP to victory in Telangana? In other news, meanwhile, in Delhi NCR, we are choking. The air quality remains in hazardous category for the 5th day in a row, but marginally dipping to 400. Remember, that also is by no means normal and very difficult to breathe with serious respiratory concerns. In international news, the war is raging on for 1 month and counting. Israel says Gaza city split into two. Gaza and some of its parts of the city reduced to ghost town. Shocking hate crime against the members of Jewish community. A Jewish man succumbs to injuries in the United States of America's California after he was hit in the head by a pro-Palestine protester.
Co-presented by आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय जॉय ई-बाइक Co-powered by Parul University Vadodara Gujarat.
So Chhattisgarh Phase 1 and also Mizoram election polling has already started and going on the ground. Preeti Chaudhary in this special telecast. Preeti, over to you. Of course, a beautiful day as election voting, one of our main democratic powers. Over to you.
Well, Pooja, thank you there. Yes, it is a beautiful day. It's the day at the hustings in two states. First phase Chhattisgarh and Mizoram full phase. Also from where you are, we have the sun shining here. But, Pooja, there's disturbing news that is just coming in. We're going to dip into the latest news break coming in from Chhattisgarh on the first phase of polling. And shocking news right now, just while polling is underway in Chhattisgarh, a Naxal attack in Sukma has been reported. Chhattisgarh polls are on, and what we are just getting in terms of initial information filtering in, a CRPF soldier has been injured in what is being reported as an IED blast in Sukma. Jawan who was deployed for poll duty has been hurt in this IED blast. Now this happened during patrolling. An IED exploded, injuring the Cobra 206 soldier. The blast occurred when Inspector who was patrolling by the name of Inspector Shrikant. His leg fell on an IED planted by Naxalites, injuring soldiers. What we are being given to understand is the injured soldier is being treated, but this is news that is coming in which can be disconcerting, disturbing, because Chhattisgarh is polling in exactly the same areas. Especially, because 20 seats of Chhattisgarh are going into polls as I speak. These 20 seats come from what were traditionally the disturbed areas of Bastar, Dantewada and news coming in of an IED blast in Sukma will only queer that pitch that this area is extremely unsafe still. There's been a campaign which has been launched by the Chhattisgarh government stating that they have gone ahead and tried their best, especially where eradication of Naxalism is concerned. And news like that coming in on polling day is disconcerting. Not just that, it flies into the face of every claim that Maoism and Naxalism has been curbed in the state of Chhattisgarh. I want to cut across to my colleague Sumi, who's reporting, getting us the latest. Sumi, would you get us up to speed with this latest news break, please? Where exactly has it happened? How many soldiers are injured?
Yes, in fact, this IED blast unfortunately took place this morning at 6 at Tonda Marka Gaon. This is the Tonda Marka village we are talking about. And in fact, the Sukma, Dantewada, Bijapur, this entire belt has been extremely sensitive and several IEDs have been detected in the past fortnight. And the CRPF personnel have been keeping a very strict vigil so that no untoward incident takes place. In fact, Rajnandgaon is also one of the areas that have been very sensitive all these years. But somewhere the 12 assembly seats of Bijapur has been extremely sensitive. In fact, yes, yesterday evening as well, there was an IED blast in which a personnel had been injured. In fact, we're talking about the personnel who got injured this morning. Shrikant, he's undergoing treatment at a very nearby district hospital. He was there to check and he was there for a very strict vigil in the area. And I'm telling you this, amid the boycott calls were given by the Naxals. In fact, in Sukma, Bijapur, Dantewada and Narayanpur, these entire belt, the Naxals have been entering the rough terrain and they are combing through the forests, village, and they are actually asking all the villagers to boycott voting, to not trust neither the Congress or the BJP, to boycott voting altogether. Here in Rajnandgaon, we are in Dr. Raman Singh's bastion. He has been representing this particular seat from 2004, and in fact, voter turnout has been great in this particular polling station as well. Here we have elderly people, 90-year-olds who are coming to vote exactly an hour later after the voting began. And in fact, we'll go across to them and try talking to them as to what is their motivation to come so early in the morning to cast their vote. Ma'am, कितना उम्र है आपका?
मेरा 82
और कितना उम्र है आपका सर?
88 साल
88 अच्छा, आप लोग सुबह सुबह यहाँ पर वोटिंग देने आए हैं, क्या मोटिवेशन है, क्या मैसेज देंगे?
नहीं समझ में
क्या मैसेज देंगे आप मोटिवेशन के लिए? लोगों को सवेरे 5 बजे से उठे हुए हैं वोटिंग के लिए, क्या मैसेज देंगे आप?
5 बजे से ही उठे हैं, लेकिन घर पे ये है कि 6 बजे से हमको वोट डालने जाना है, बस घर में यही है। पर घर में क्या ये है जो पैसे थोड़े से वो है, फिर भी वो यहाँ आए हुए हैं। और छोटे वाले भैया हैं जो अपने दुकान पे, तो वो खोल के आएंगे, पर फिर भी आना है। फिर भी हमने चाचा को बोला कि हमें जाना ही है वोट पे।
तो पहला काम वोटिंग देना है।
भैया जो हैं ध्यानचंद जो हॉकी प्लेयर हैं, उनके साथ हॉकी खेले हुए हैं राजनांदगांव। हॉकी प्लेयर हैं,
हॉकी प्लेयर हैं आप? हॉकी, उनको सुनने में जरा तकलीफ है। आप इनके तरफ से आप हमें बताएं कि किस तरह से आपने भी अपनी वोटिंग यहाँ पर दे चुके हैं, क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे उन लोगों को जिनमें वोटिंग अवेयरनेस कम है?
प्रजातंत्र का मंदिर है, वोट बहुत कीमती है। एक वोट से देश के संसद में एक प्रधानमंत्री का शासन गिरा, एक वोट से जर्मनी के राष्ट्रपति का हार गए, इसलिए एक एक वोट कीमती है। इस महादान का हर किसी को उपयोग करना चाहिए और इस मंदिर को सजाना चाहिए। और राजनांदगांव लोकसभा क्षेत्र जो है, यह ऐतिहासिक लोकसभा क्षेत्र है जहां मतदाता जागरूकता के आधार पर काम करती है।
जागरूकता के आधार पर काम करती है। सर, आपका मुद्दा क्या है? आप किन मुद्दों पर आज वोट करने वाले हैं?
हम विकास और राष्ट्रहित के मुद्दों पर वोट करने वाले हैं। जो यहाँ पर बहुत प्राथमिकता से वही चीजें दिखाई दे रही है। तो हर किसी को वोट करना चाहिए, राष्ट्रहित के लिए वोट करना चाहिए, अपने वोट का उनको उपयोग करना चाहिए।
आपको मैंने सेल्फी लेते हुए देखा, बहुत खुश नजर आ रहे थे मुझे पोस्ट वोटिंग। ये खुशी, ये सेल्फी, आप दोनों सेल्फी ले रहे थे, बताइए किसकी खुशी है? ये वोटिंग की खुशी है?
वोटिंग खुशी है।
किन मुद्दों पर वोट कर रहे हैं?
विकास के लिए।
विकास के लिए वोट कर रहे हैं। मैम, आप किन मुद्दों पर वोट कर रही हैं?
हमें भी अपने भारत देश की अपनी उन्नति की विकास की चाहिए विकास ही चाहिए.
People are voting here for development. People are voting here for a good change. And in fact, the excitement on their faces, people from all walks of life are walking in to vote, specifically the oldies, but the goldies. They are walking here since early in the morning. The kind of excitement post-voting is incredible. In fact, there is a selfie zone that has been built here for voter awareness as well. People are coming out after casting their votes and taking selfies. More vote, more zimmedari is what the tagline of Election Commission. And in fact, the excitement that you're spotting here is certainly magnificent.
All right, Sumi, we're going to come right back. My colleague Sumi has been reporting right now, getting you the latest. She's in the constituency of former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Raman Singh from the BJP. We're going to continue to cut across to her. But, you know, what you're really witnessing and, you know, what's an election without old political cliches, the dance of democracy, you know, the temple of democracy, all of that galore. But we're going to cut across back to Sumi. But more news break coming in on election day where phase 1 of Chhattisgarh is concerned. 20 seats in the Dantewada, Sukma, Bastar region going into vote. And a war of words right now. And that is coming from the Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, and the Deputy Chief Minister, T.S. Singh Deo of Chhattisgarh. And the bone of contention is Ram and religion. Deputy Chief Minister Deo has said that BJP had abandoned Ram. This is T.S. Singh Deo. The BJP has hit back by Himanta Biswa Sarma, who says Congress fought Babar and Aurangzeb. Moreover, suggesting that Baghel wanted help from Naxalists to win this election. Huge war of words. You know, religion, especially not a big issue where Chhattisgarh is concerned. You know, will it really transcend into the ballot where the vote is comes into question? Not really, is at least what our boots on ground are telling us. Issues are slightly different, but the narrative and the rhetoric right now rife, and that is coming in from a face-off between the sitting Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, and the Deputy CM of Chhattisgarh. And it comes, the flashpoint here is Ram, where T.S. Singh Deo has accused the Bharatiya Janata Party of using the Ram card and trying to leverage or milk you know, electoral dividends at the back of that. On the other hand, you have Himanta Biswa Sarma, who's hit back at the Congress and saying that the Congress has always stood for Babar and Aurangzeb, and Mr. Baghel, the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, has always wanted help from the Naxalisms or Naxalites to win election. Huge war of words on the day of first phase of polling. Let's listen in to the reactions and we cut across to a reporter.
उनके घोषणा पत्र में राम दिखे क्या? उनके घोषणा पत्र में राम है क्या? वो तो जय श्री राम के नारों को तक भूल गए. जब तक मकसद साधना था तब तक जय श्री राम के नारे आप गूंजते हुए सुनते थे. आजकल सुनते हैं कोई जय श्री राम नहीं करता जैसा उस समय करते थे. तो वो मकसद उनका था राजनीतिक हित साधने का. दुर्भाग्य से कहें या संजोग से कहें, सद गया. राम जी का नाम था. राम जी का काम छत्तीसगढ़ की सरकार ने दिखाया है.
बाघेल जी ये नक्सल को लेके चुनाव जीतना चाहते हैं. मैं थोड़ा दिन पहले कवर्धा गया था. बात में अकबर का खिलाफ कुछ निकाल गया तो इलेक्शन कमीशन जाके कांग्रेस लोग मेरा ऊपर कंप्लेन कर दिया कि अकबर का खिलाफ बोल रहा है. मैं बोला यार कांग्रेस लोग आप लोग क्यों अकबर को इतना प्यार करते हो? अभी तो बाबर का मस्जिद चला गया, राम मंदिर बन रहा है 11 जनवरी को. फिर भी आप अकबर का प्यार में फंसा हुआ है. हम धर्मांतर के खिलाफ भी हमें लड़ना है और हमने ये नया बाबर औरंगजेब भारत में दोबारा मुगल का जन्म ना हो इसलिए भी हमें लड़ना है. ये छत्तीसगढ़ मां कौशल्या का भूमि है. आप प्रभु श्री राम का ननिहाल है. अगर नरेंद्र मोदी नहीं होता था क्या राम लाला का भव्य मंदिर बनता था अयोध्या में? बोलिए बनता था? भूपेश बाघेल जी ये
Well, it's open political season. You can hear all the jibes, all the political narrative, the rhetoric rife right now in poll-bound Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh is going to go to vote in two phases. The first phase right now where, what were traditionally the disturbed areas and, of course, the news that came in of an IED blast continue to be so. Parts of Dantewada, Bastar, Sukma going into vote this morning, 20 seats. But there's more coming in terms of news break, and that is the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel, hitting out at his own nephew. Mind you, his nephew is standing against Bhupesh Baghel on a BJP ticket. Interesting choice of words. Bhupesh Baghel taking a swipe at his own nephew, saying, "Rishte mein to hum tumhare baap lagte hain." Understandable. Like I said, it's open political season. It's, word for word in terms of jibes. But Bhupesh Baghel hitting out at his own nephew, who's contesting against Bhupesh Baghel on a BJP ticket. Listen in.
अब अगर थोड़ा है कोरबा ये वाला क्षेत्र बचा है तो उन क्षेत्रों में फिर जाएंगे।
कौन भारी है? कतौर भतीजा में कौन भारी?
रिश्ते हम बाप लगते हैं। अब अगर थोड़ा है कोरबा ये वाला क्षेत्र बचा है तो उन क्षेत्रों में फिर जाएंगे।
कतौर भतीजा में कौन भारी है? कतौर भतीजा में कौन भारी?
रिश्ते
All right, trust the political attacks to only get sharper as Chhattisgarh moves into the second phase where the mammoth 70 seats go to vote. Today is the first phase, 20 seats where Chhattisgarh comes into question. But let's give you an overview. 70 seats, Chhattisgarh going into vote. It comes at the back, the first phase of a massive controversy where the Mahadev app is concerned and the alleged involvement of the sitting Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel, in it. Polling, meanwhile, has begun in Chhattisgarh. All eyes on the key battles that could change the game. The first phase of polling, like I said, 20 seats, including 12 from the Bastar division, has begun polling for remaining 70. Of course, it would be November 17th, where the second phase of polling will coincide with the polling of the state of Madhya Pradesh. Meanwhile, in Sukma, disturbing news this morning, reports of one Jawan of CRPF's Cobra battalion being injured in an IED blast triggered by Naxals in Tonda Marka area. The Jawan was deployed for patrolling duty on election, allegedly stepped on an IED. 60,000 security personnel have been deployed for the smooth conduct of polls in Bastar division. Remember, viewers, that results for all three states Rajasthan, of all 5 states of Rajasthan, Telengana, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram will come on the 3rd of December.
गिरिगाम तेलग्राम अपना पहला वोट डाली है अपनी तेलग्राम में और ये अपना निशान ये है और वाकई में बिल्कुल जीत के प्रति बहुत आश्वस्त हूँ। हम और हमारी सरकार जो काम करी है, विकास के कार्य करी, इनको देखते हुए ये क्षेत्र की जनता बिल्कुल उनका आशीर्वाद और सहयोग भरपूर मिल रहा है और निश्चित तौर पर हम रिकॉर्ड मतों से जीतेंगे।
देखिए, पूरे प्रदेश के लगभग 20 विधानसभा में लोकतंत्र का महापर्व चल रहा है और लगातार सुबह से ये संख्या जो आई हुई है वो इस बात को साबित करता है कि छत्तीसगढ़ पे कांग्रेस की सरकार को यहाँ से हटाए और विकास की गंगा बहाए। जिस उद्देश्य के साथ में छत्तीसगढ़ को बनाया गया था उन उद्देश्यों की पूर्ति नहीं हो पा रही है। कांग्रेस ने लगातार भ्रष्टाचार के एक नए आयाम स्थापित किए हैं। इस बार लोग घर से निकल करके कांग्रेस को हटाना चाहते हैं।
भूपेश जी मुख्यमंत्री हैं, सट्टा जुआ अपराध यदि हो रहा है तो 1-1.5 साल से हो रहा है। कार्रवाई करते, अरेस्ट करते, गिरफ्तारी करते, कोई कार्रवाई किया नहीं। FIR तक तो दर्ज नहीं किया छत्तीसगढ़ में। ईडी को क्यों आना पड़ा? PMLA में, प्रिवेंशन ऑफ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्ट में जब करोड़ों रुपये, हजारों करोड़ का ट्रांजैक्शन दिख रहा है तो ईडी को भी आना पड़ा, ईडी को भी आना पड़ा।
वीडियो जो है बीजेपी ने जारी किया है, है ना? प्रेस नोट है, ईडी ने जारी किया। तो मतलब कितना बढ़िया संबंध है। जैसे पहले कार्रवाई करते थे ईडी और प्रेस विज्ञप्ति जारी करता था रमन सिंह। तो ये तो ईडी और भाजपा की मिली भगत है, वो तो स्पष्ट हो गया है।
ये कांग्रेस की पहचान है। जहां कांग्रेस होगी
वही भ्रष्टाचार होगा। ये एक ही सिक्के के दो पहलू हैं। ये भूपेश बघेल की ओएसडी ऑफिसर ऑन स्पेशल ड्यूटी क्या घर से पैसे मिले थे कि नहीं मिले थे? जेल में है कि नहीं है? 1.5 साल से जेल में है भूपेश बघेल की ओएसडी। आप बताइए 5 साल में क्या क्या हुआ? ये घोटाले पे घोटाला हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? और तो और छोड़िए, गोठान घोटाला हुआ, सब तरीके का घोटाला हुआ। कभी आपने सुना था कि गोबर का भी घोटाला हुआ? भूपेश बघेल ने गोबर का भी घोटाला कर दिया।
All right, viewers, of the 90 seats, 20 going to polls in the first phase of election. My colleague Sumi has been reporting from Rajanandgaon. That is where former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Raman Singh, testing his fate. We're going to cut across to Sumi in a short while, but let's also bring in my colleague Aishwarya Paliwal joining me from Chitrakoot in Chhattisgarh. Aishwarya, you know, Chhattisgarh first phase comes at the back of explosive allegations against the sitting Chief Minister of the Congress from Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel. Corruption has been a huge poll issue, especially where the BJP comes into question, attacking the state government on what it alleges have been a string of scams. And now the news of the Mahadev app and allegations associated with it, where the Chief Minister comes into question. Is this sticking? Do you see that poll narrative being bolstered on ground?
Well, definitely, you know, as far as the BJP is concerned, the top guns of the party, none less than Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Preeti himself, spoke from the dais in Durg in Chhattisgarh and spoke about the fact that the name of Lord Shiva, Mahadev, is now being used, and it's being used for massive corruption in the state. So obviously for the BJP, it has been a big poll plank. They've been speaking about the fact that there is an entire string of scams which has happened over the past 5 years. They obviously are saying if they come to power, then corruption is the first thing that they will put an end to. It's not that. From the other side is Lord Ram, and it was none other than Home Minister Preeti Amit Shah who in fact came and released the manifesto here in the state of Chhattisgarh. So all those things, this is a Congress versus the BJP fight, and both the parties are putting their might, wanting to make sure that they snatch, Congress wanting to make sure that they continue for the next 5 years, BJP trying their level best to make sure that they snatch power, because it was the BJP which was in power for the last 15 years, and then came the Congress rule. So obviously for BJP, corruption is a big issue. They've also made sure that they sprinkle in, the flavor of Lord Ram, when Amit Shah in the manifesto said that Ram Yojana, is something that they will come up with if they come to power. They'll take the people of the state of Chhattisgarh to Ayodhya and make sure that they can have they can see the temple and also worship there. On the other side, if we speak about the polling, Preeti, historically we have seen Chhattisgarh has been a state where the average polling has always been more than 65%. And the long queues that you are seeing here, this is a model booth. The long queues are speaking about the fact that we could see the state maintaining the average polling percentage more than 65%, and this is what both the parties are hoping for the people to step out. And especially in this region, the place where I'm standing, on an average more than 70% has been, the voting, more than 70% is what we know. So everyone now banking on the fact that people need to come out and to vote. At the moment, the region where I am is quiet and people are turning up in large numbers. Preeti.
All right, we're going to continue to cut across to Aishwarya, but what I'm going to do is briefly, and it's interesting, viewers, because the issue of religion polarization, will it stick in Chhattisgarh in terms of, the maximum voters? They come in from the OBC and the Adivasis, the STs. The Muslim population, just about 2%. Usually we've seen the card of Ram or religion queer the political pitch, especially if in terms of the voters there is polarization. Will it happen this time round? We don't quite know, but corruption is a huge issue, and that has been what the BJP has been going to town campaigning in Chhattisgarh. I'm going to cut across right back to the studio. Colleague Pooja Shali joining us and giving us the details. Pooja, take it over on what went down in 2018 and what we can expect now.
All right, so remember in 2018, just like this phase 1, 20 seats were where the elections had taken place. What did it look like in 2018? Congress managed a massive sweep. As you can see, out of 20 seats, 17 went to the Congress party, barely 2 to the Bharatiya Janata Party. And that is why this time Bhupesh Baghel, his party, will want to try and regain this clout for the Congress party this time as well, despite the allegations of corruption that recently surfaced on Mahadeva application, corruption allegations. But apart from that, could these charges really work, or will it be the 5 years of work that had been done in the state of Chhattisgarh? Remember, other seats on November 17th, remaining seats for phase 2 for Chhattisgarh will take place. So this was about the seats. What about the vote share? How many people contributed to which party to win in those elections? Let me take you through that. 35% while went to the BJP. It was 46%, barely right there, touching the half margin, was for the Congress party. And that is why the Congress party will want to be confident, but it can go haywire. Remember, if the people of Chhattisgarh feel that they're not happy and there is an anti-incumbency, they will want to perhaps go again to the BJP. Chhattisgarh has seen governments both from the BJP and the Congress party for fairly long term. And this time as well, while the Congress had 46% of vote share previously, will 23 be again lucky for the Congress, or will the BJP manage to make inroads with the massive campaigning that has been done in the state? Over now to Preeti Chaudhary on the ground.
Well, we're going to continue to come back to my colleague Pooja, who's going to break down the numbers, the data on what it stood for when Chhattisgarh went to election the last time around. But from the studio, let's cut across right now to Rajanaandgaon. That is where former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh is testing his fate. And joining me from there is Sumi. Good morning, Sumi. Especially where Raman Singh comes into question. Earlier on, there were also indications that the BJP might not even field him. But then, of course, that turned around. He was given a ticket. What are you witnessing this morning in Rajanaandgaon?
A very good morning to you, Preeti, as well, and to all our viewers who are watching India Today this morning. In fact, as you correctly pointed out, this is the Rajanaandgaon bastion for Dr. Raman Singh. He has been the 3-term CM, the longest-serving CM of Chhattisgarh, and he is testing his luck this morning. And the voter turnout you see around me, as Aishwarya was also pointing out, that voter turnout is incredible in Chhattisgarh. It has always been more than an average of 70%. In fact, the last time around as well, despite several threats by the Naxals, the voter turnout was close to 75% in the Naxal-affected areas as well. And here the long queues tell you the story, speak volumes about the voter turnout here at Rajanaandgaon as well. Their issues have been prominent about unemployment, and Rajanaandgaon has also been slightly touched upon by Naxalism in the past as well. But I would go across to these voters who have turned up exactly on time to cast their votes. क्या मुद्दों पर वोट करेंगे सर आप?
मुद्दा विकास, बेरोजगारी।
बेरोजगारी क्यों है मुद्दा यहाँ पर?
बेरोजगारी तो सबसे बड़ा, देश का सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा तो यही है, और राज्य का भी ये सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा बेरोजगारी है, और विकास प्रमुख मुद्दा है।
विकास प्रमुख मुद्दा है। अंकल, आप किसके लिए वोट करेंगे? क्या मुद्दा है?
विकास, बेरोजगारी और आपका महंगाई के लिए विकास सबसे प्रथम चीज है। अब बेरोजगारी ये भी बहुत बड़ी चीज है।
यहाँ पर बेरोजगारी इतना बड़ा मुद्दा कैसे बन गया? बीएनसी मिल के बंद होने की वजह से, या
बीएनसी मिल के बनने से? उद्योग मंत्री खुद था रमन सरकार, उसके सांसद था, उद्योग मंत्री था, तो बीएनसी मिल बंद हो गया। तो 15 साल और विकास कुछ नहीं हुआ उसके।
कुछ नहीं हुआ। आप किन मुद्दों पर वोट करेंगे?
विकास के लिए करना है। विकास के लिए। यहाँ पे अभी 5 साल से भूपेश बघेल बना है, जब से राजनांदगांव में अभी तक दर्शन नहीं दिया है। एक भी दफे एक स्टेडियम जो यहाँ का है उसको भी रोकवा दिया है काम को।
तो आप चाहते हैं विकास हो। Development is on their minds while they go inside the to cast their vote, and in fact it is incredible how the voter turnout has been very huge. In fact, since this morning there was a voter called Lakshmi Babu Jha who couldn't sleep with the excitement of voting. He cast his vote for every time. He stands first at every polling station wherever he goes, whenever he could take part in the democracy festival. So certainly here many people putting forward their opinions that they want vikas, they want development, they want to get rid of corruption, and they also want employment and to get rid of inflation as well.
We're going to come right back to you. My colleague Sumi getting us the very latest from Rajanandgaon. But from Rajanandgaon, Chhattisgarh, let's take you right now all the way back to the studio where my colleague Pooja standing by to take you through where in the first phase, 20 seats, Chhattisgarh, who are the top contenders in fray. One of them, of course, from Rajanandgaon, where Sumi is standing, Pooja, the former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Raman Singh.
All right, that's right. There are going to be, remember, while this is the phase 1 out of 2 phases for a Chhattisgarh election, let me take you through our election intelligence dashboard to tell you exactly who the key candidates are, what are the seats looking like. So this, in our map, let's go across to Chhattisgarh. And for phase 1, 20 seats is what we are talking about. What does that mean? Let me take you through on phase 1, we click here on the 2 big candidates. Dr. Raman Singh, like we were talking about, Rajanandgaon is his constituency. He's been former Chief Minister several times. He's had a fairly long term with regard to being in the top position of the Chhattisgarh government. Can he again come back to the government, beat Bhupesh Baghel, or will Bhupesh Baghel not be giving BJP any surprises? But there's also from the Congress party, Deepak Baij. Remember, Deepak Baij is very interesting. He is the Congress party chief. The manner in which he was replaced and given this position just barely a few months ago, that also is reflective of how Congress wants to also ensure that they give these the candidates, while Bhupesh Baghel is on the senior most position, he also has his share of responsibilities. Both are experienced politicians, both are very important to phase 1 from the BJP and from the Congress party. Preeti, back to you on the ground.
Okay, we're going to continue to come back to Pooja and cut across all the way to Chhattisgarh as well, where our reporters boots on ground. But let's quickly slip into a break. We're back with more.
You are watching India Today. Powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Time for me to head for some tea and poha.
Congress has to try hard to win back.
That's what I wanted, my black chicken kadakna.
मेथी के लड्डू
ईडी अपने घर पहुंच गए।
स्वागत है उनका। 150 करोड़ की अघोषित संपत्ति जब्त होती है।
रायपुर आना है तो नुक्कड़ जरूर जाना है। छत्तीसगढ़ी थाली।
बहुत अच्छा। PSC is basically Party Service Commission.
छत्तीसगढ़िया। बढ़िया।
Traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner
and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
What's a threat notification really? Well, Apple's threat notifications are a way of alerting users that their phones are being targeted by so-called state-sponsored attackers. Apple has also developed a system where it recognizes activities that matches certain patterns and sends out threat notification to users via email or iMessage to affected users' Apple ID. Now, Apple has revealed that state-sponsored attackers are not your average cyber criminals. They are exceptionally resourced and target a very small number of specific individuals and their devices, making these attacks much harder to really detect and prevent. These attacks are highly complex. It costs millions of dollars to develop and often have a short shelf life. Apple has stated that it cannot really disclose information about what causes the company to send out these notifications, as that can help attackers adapt their behavior to evade detection in the future. But what about non-Apple users? Is there a chance that they might also have been subjected to such attacks? Are they still unaware of it? The tech giant has also clarified that it's very possible that some Apple threat notifications may be false alarms, or that some attacks are not detected at all. Apple has said that since enabling the feature in November 2021, these threat notifications have been sent to individuals whose accounts are in nearly 150 countries. Well, to safeguard your Apple device from such harmful attacks, you need to know 5 things. Number 1, whether it's your phone or laptop, keeping your device updated is really very important for safety. Also, always make sure that your device is secured with a passcode to avoid any immediate attack. Number 2, always use two-factor authentication, which will add an extra layer of security to your device. Number 3, always refrain from clicking random links and downloading random files via SMS or any other source. Make sure to download authenticated apps from official app stores of the phones only. Number 4, if you suspect that you are being targeted on any Apple device like an iPhone or a MacBook, then you can use the lockdown mode for extreme protection. But lockdown mode, well, this really restricts access to many services. You can find this option though in the privacy and security features in your settings. Number 5, in addition to these steps, you can also get your device forensically examined for any kind of malware. But for this, you will have to submit your device for that test. Well, all this only reveals that all users now must be very well aware of such measures and use their devices with some level of safety measures. Adopt it so that you can avoid such situations.
Co-presented by Aapka Joy, Bharat Ka Joy, Joy e-bike. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat.
All right, welcome back, viewers. You're watching State of War, and 2 states are going into polling this morning. Chhattisgarh first phase with 20 seats, and the state of Mizoram with its 40 assembly seats is going into election. In the state of Mizoram, it's poised to be a triangular contest. The incumbent MNF facing off with the ZPM as well as the Congress, fighting on all 40 seats. However, the BJP also in the fray, viewers, with 23 seats. The big question here, which is being anticipated. Will what went down in Manipur actually impact the electoral political outcome of the state of neighboring Mizoram? On the other hand, where election issues are concerned, Manipur, of course, a big election issue, as well as even corruption. The northeastern state set to see a triangular contest, like I just pointed out. The BJP on 23 seats fighting, the incumbent MNF Zoram People's Movement fighting on 40 seats, as well as the Congress fighting on 40 seats. Out of Mizoram's 1,276 voting centers, 149 are designate remote polling stations. What's rather interesting and, ironical as well, the Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramthanga of the MNF was unable to cast his vote today due to a technical snag. After getting out from the polling booth, though, the Chief Minister seemed confident. Cut across right now, back from Mizoram. Let's cut across to Chhattisgarh. Listen in to former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Raman Singh.
शराबबंदी भूल गए और झूठे वादे सारे भूल गए। उन्होंने जितने वादे किए थे आज जनता उसी लिए शराब पूछ रही है। और शराबबंदी वो क्या करेंगे? शराब से जब 2100 करोड़ का घोटाला करते हैं, शराब का अवैध शराब बिक्री होती है, जहरीली शराब से लोगों की मौत होती है, इसमें भी रहम नहीं है, तो क्या स्थिति बनेगी छत्तीसगढ़ की?
सर, भूपेश कह रहे हैं कि बीजेपी मतलब ईडी और ईडी मतलब बीजेपी।
सर, आप पे व्यक्तिगत आरोप भी लगाया।
ईडी से और पुलिस से वही डरता है जो अपराधी प्रवृत्ति का व्यक्ति होता है। ईडी से क्यों डरेगा भाई? क्यों डरेंगे? दुनिया के लोग क्यों नहीं डरते ईडी से? आपने 2100 करोड़ का घोषित शराब में घोटाला किया है, प्रमाण है 40% अवैध शराब बेचने का, हॉलमार्क नकली लगाने का प्रमाण है, बिना टैक्स दिए 40% शराब बेचने का, 25 रुपया प्रति टन कोयले का प्रमाण है, 600 करोड़ रुपया पीडीएस के चावल का प्रमाण है। कितने सारे प्रमाण चाहिए जिसपे एक एक भ्रष्टाचार, और महादेव वेब तो खुली किताब है।
डॉक्टर साहब, बिट्टू भैया का भी नाम लिया है उसने, शुभम सोनी ने, कि बिट्टू भैया की मौजूदगी में दिए हैं, ये किस ओर इशारा करता है?
ये सारा विषय ईडी के जांच का और खोद का विषय है, और इसमें कोई अपराधी ना बचे, सभी अपराधियों के ऊपर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। मैं तो इतना ही मानता हूं।
कार्रवाई क्या करेंगे? पहली कार्रवाई क्या करें? आपकी सरकार आती है तो महादेव मामले में क्या कार्रवाई करेंगे?
कार्रवाई न्यायालय करती है, न्यायालय में साक्ष्य प्रस्तुत किए जाते हैं।
पहले चरण की कितने सीटें मिलती है?
कम से कम 14 सीट।
डॉक्टर साहब, आप लोग बीजेपी कर रही है मोदी गारंटी और कांग्रेस कर रही है प्रियंका और राहुल का भरोसा। मैं एक सवाल मोदी गारंटी या एक सवाल बस
भारतीय
मनीष भाई, सिर्फ एक सवाल सर एक डॉक्टर साहब।
All right, so let's quickly move from Chhattisgarh. Like I told you, viewers, both Chhattisgarh, Mizoram going into election. We've given you the breakdown, the lowdown, what the political arithmetic looked like in 2018 in the state of Chhattisgarh. We're going to give it to you in Mizoram. My colleague Pooja is standing by. But before we cut across to Pooja, lots of reaction coming in from the state of Mizoram, polling all 40 seats this morning. Interesting, ironical, whichever way you look at it. The sitting chief minister of the state unable to cast his ballot because of a technical snag.
Sir, almost all political pundits have predicted that it's going to be a hung assembly this time. How do you see your party from henceforth? Like, will you go into a coalition if required to form the government?
Well, it will not be a hung assembly. It will be an MNF government. I have a full confidence in that.
He's saying his dream. Then,
but will it come reality?
No, I don't think. He will not come again.
But the people's...
It seems from the movement of the people, the same government will not come again. Because anti-incumbency wave is very much at this time.
Honestly speaking, I was thinking about,
looking all the reports coming in, I was hopeful getting 22 to 25, but as days gone by, in the last couple of weeks we have grown a lot. The wave is with us. If you could see, the whole state is painted yellow now. So definitely we are going to have 25 seats.
The border is very porous, and we have a visa-free regime. So 16 kilometers on both sides, people can freely enter the other country without any visa requirements. So that can be misused by antisocial elements. So considering the long border that we have and the visa-free regime that we have, we have to ensure that there is no unauthorized movement of contraband goods.
Mizoram is facing a major movement of drugs, and the drugs are transiting through Mizoram, which is then taken to various parts of the country and even beyond. Recently we have made various arrests. We have seized more than 45 worth crores of crystal meth. We are aware of the mountainous terrain and the difficulties in guarding the entire border areas. Nonetheless, we are up to it. We have formed a separate team of narcotics headed by an SP, which has been able to lay hands on these important seizures.
All right, so, what pre-poll surveys are suggesting, it could be a hung assembly, and that was the question that was put forth to the MNF government and the sitting chief minister of Mizoram. But what did it look like in 2018? Let's cut across right now to my colleague Pooja.
All right, so the northeastern state of Mizoram is very crucial. One, because it is a border state, but importantly for the political survival of the MNF ruling party, of ZP and the opposition parties. So the regional parties on one side and the national parties, BJP, Congress. Let me take you through our election intelligence dashboard to help you understand why Mizoram is so crucial and what does it really have for the political fate of the Congress party, the BJP and the regional parties as well. I want to take you through the seats and the votes, specifically the vote share that the state of Mizoram got. Take a look at this. 40 seats. 38% went to the ruling Mizo National Front. John Thanga, who's the chief minister, was one of the first to try and come cast his vote. But the Congress party got 30% of vote share. So that's no less at all. Remember, before MNF was in the government, it was the Congress party that was in the government in the northeastern state. Can they make a comeback, or will MNF, with possibly an alliance, make through? 24% went to others. BJP also managed to win one seat. Very interesting trivia, I must add here. MNF and BJP are in alliance in the National Democratic Alliance in the center. But in Mizoram, that alliance does not stand. Will they want to work out that alliance for now? He has said no need. There will be no hung assembly. We will say through. But this is the northeastern state that Congress wants to desperately get back, because BJP in one way or another is in other states of the northeast. Back to you, Preeti, on this.
All right, Pooja, news break coming in. High voter turnout recorded in the state of Chhattisgarh is what we have been given to understand. We're going to just detail the figures right there for you. Chhattisgarh, traditionally a state which has seen very high turnout in successive elections. Those 20 seats which are going into, in the 20 seats that are going into polling as I speak, have already recorded a 15% voting percentage in just 2 hours' time. Because let me give you a parallel to that. Chhattisgarh recording 15% in 2 hours, and possibly when a state like let's say Delhi goes into election, it records not more than a 3 or 4% in these 2 hours. So if you can see the difference, it's huge, it's mammoth. Chhattisgarh always eager to cast its ballot, and this time also what we are looking at in Chhattisgarh is a record polling, which is the best thing that can ever happen to a democracy. So word coming in, 15% voter turnout in just 2 hours in the state of Chhattisgarh. Healthy voter turnout, encouraging as well. What does it mean politically? Wait for our analysis later on through the course of the evening. Okay, with this news break, let's cut across right now back to Mizoram. Lots going on in the state of Mizoram. My colleague Surya Agni joining us from Aizawl. Surya Agni, interesting what's taking place in the state of Mizoram. Early this morning, the chief minister from the MNF himself couldn't cast his ballot, but rather sure when questions were posed to him whether it's going to be a hung assembly. The big question, Surya, is while you've been traveling through the state of Mizoram, is Manipur an issue? Because neighboring Manipur, had also, in terms of what is currently the context of Manipur, flowed into what's happening in Mizoram. Is that going to be a poll issue? All right, we don't have my colleague Surya. We're going to try and connect right back to him. But once again, putting the spotlight on the state of Mizoram. Mind you, viewers, Mizoram is voting in a single phase today with all its 40 seats. The Congress here hoping to make gains. The Congress very vocal of what went down in the state of Manipur. We're going to go into a quick break. To stay with us, cut across to all our reporters. We're going to get you the bird's eye perspective, the ringside view, or the front row seats, whatever you might call it, to this political thriller, viewers. And you can only catch the best reportage, the best analysis, the best number crunching right here on India Today. Well, election season truly off now. The first phase of polling in Chhattisgarh on with 20 seats, all 40 seats in Mizoram going into vote. Trust us to keep you ahead. A quick break. Stay with us. My colleague Pooja takes over on the other side.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest. Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Debate is on and the jury out still on whether 70 hours of work per week is the ultimate recipe for success. Infosys founder Narayan Murthy stirred a hornet's nest with this remark. The controversy over it refuses to die down. While there are many who support Mr. Murthy, asking what is wrong, there are those who say this is lethal for your physical and mental health. Narayan Murthy claimed that the work productivity of Indians are among the lowest in the world, and unless Indians improve productivity, reduce corruption in government departments and reduce delays in bureaucratic decision-making, India may not be able to compete and use the potential of the youngsters to the fullest. Experts say that asking for 70 hours of work from the youth every single week is way too much, and science does not support it. Here is what science says. The World Health Organization, for example, says that working 55 hours or more per week is a serious health hazard. A study by McKinsey in 2022 found that 4 out of every 10 Indians working in corporate India experience high levels of burnout, distress, anxiety and depression. The report cites toxic workplace as the biggest reason behind these alarming statistics. Hustle culture is an environment where there's an unhealthy obsession with ambition, achievements and success with little regard for rest, self-care or any sense of work-life balance. This is being glamorized by celebrity CEOs, say experts. Another IT czar has come forward to offer some well-meaning advice on Twitter. Chairman of Wipro, Richard Premji, has tweeted saying that mental health must be prioritized. A 2021 joint study by the World Health Organization and the International Labour Organization has found that in the year 2016, 488 million people, or roughly 9% of the global population, were exposed to long working hours. The research also said that in 2016 alone, nearly 50,000 people died due to heart disease and strokes as a direct result of overwork. This represents a 29% increase since the year 2000. The Japanese have also coined a term for it, karoshi, which means death by overwork. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
We won't have any of it. That is the word from the government of India on allegations of Meta and Instagram tweaking content to make their platforms addictive. India has said that free pass and immunity to social media platforms are over and strict accountability will be enforced.
Social media app can be used maturely or mindfully only after understanding these consequences. That means that there has to be a capping of age. Young children are more impressionable, and when they are looking at content repeatedly, it forms their opinions, it forms their ideologies, it forms their personality, and they get less and less choice in forming an ideology, because that is the only ideology that they are being exposed to.
This comes in the backdrop of a lawsuit against Meta, which also operates Facebook, by more than 40 US states, saying that Facebook, Instagram features are addictive and target kids. The complaint says Meta has repeatedly misled the public about the substantial dangers of its platforms and knowingly induced young children and teenagers into addictive and compulsive social media use. Research has shown that young people's use of Meta's social media platforms is associated with depression, anxiety, insomnia, interference with education and daily life, and many other negative outcomes. Meta has been accused of intentionally designing its platforms to manipulate dopamine responses in its young users to maximize time spent on its platforms. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today TV.
Good morning and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha. These are the headlines we're tracking at the top of the hour. Delhi air quality remains in hazardous category for the 5th day in a row, but marginally dips to below 400 mark. Phase 1 of polling in Chhattisgarh underway. Chhattisgarh sees brisk voting in the initial hours. Naxal hotbed witnesses healthy turnout. Mizoram sees over 15% voting in the first 2 hours. Power star ties up with the BJP in Telengana. Pawan Kalyan, Prime Minister Modi on the same stage. BJP bangs on Kalyan's youth and OBC appeal. Will Pawan Kalyan power BJP to victory? War raging for 1 month and counting. Israel says Gaza city split into 2. Gaza reduced to ghost town. Jewish man succumbs to injuries in the US's California after he was hit in the head by